Good evening, Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly. We're back here again tonight. Not your typical Friday night. We've had Monday night football, and now it's Saturday night football. Doug, welcome to the broadcast, brother. It's going to be a good one.
Great to be here in Mifflinburg. Been a number of years since I've been here broadcasting against a very good Mifflinburg team tonight. Coming in at 3-1, Nate. Should be a good game.
It should be a good game. And, you know, the outpouring of love and just true the sensitivity and the care and the compassion that has been statewide with the Max Engel passing and the mourning of his loss has been addressed again tonight. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Ulmer from the Jersey Shore School District, along with Dr. Ken Dady here in Mifflinburg, originally of the Orange and Black. He's going to be rooting for the Wildcats tonight because he got the superintendent job here. So just want to say it's awesome to really see the class that has been just demonstrated across the board, district to district, just to support these kids and support the families.
They really have done a good job handling an impossible situation as well as you can. And, of course, they had a tragedy here as well. One of the young daughters of one of the assistant coaches from Mifflinburg passed away in an accident a month or so ago. So both communities dealing with a lot of heavy things over the last couple months. But, you know, we're here tonight playing football on a Saturday night. Rain has stopped for now. Looking for a good contest.
Absolutely, and it's always great when you're on the road to feel like you're still at home. And, again, hats off to Dr. Dady, Ken Dady here. We're going to talk football, but before we do, you know, we're down here at Mifflinburg. This is my first broadcast here, your first broadcast here, and nice field, nice concessions. What's your first take?
Well, you know, you got a natural grass field, which we only see a couple times a year. Now with Shikellamy going the turf, that one's off the mark. So Mifflinburg here, but the field, we talked about it when we came, looks in good condition. And Nate, we kind of started something a couple weeks ago. How did the teams get here? Mifflinburg, 3-1, 2 home games, 2 away games, beat a bad Midwest team 42-0, beat Central Columbia in a very close game, 35-28, lost to Shamokin 48-28. Beat Central Mountain with a good come-behind win, 43-33. And, of course, Jersey Shore coming in at 3-0-1. Big win over Pottsville, big win over Lewisburg, the tie with Selinsgrove, and a great effort this past Monday, 61-12 over the Braves of Shikellamy. So both teams are ready to go. Only a couple losses, one loss in between them. Looking for a good competitive ball game tonight. We'll see how it all plays out.
As always, for those tuning in tonight, hey, listen, click on the link, sign up tonight at the Bear Country YouTube channel, because when you sign up, every time you log in, you're instantly connected live to the stream, which makes it easier. And right now, there's about 1.5 thousand people logged into the family. We had tremendous viewership last week. We continue to have tremendous support from our sponsors. So share that with a friend. Let them know how they can watch the game tonight if they can't get to Mifflinburg. Before we cut to commercial, just want to say I was told this, Doug, and if I don't do this, I'm in trouble. But my daughters, Charlotte and Claire, wanted a quick shout-out tonight. They love traveling on the road with us, and they've missed the last couple games. So love you, girls. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Property or business, it's Eberhard State Farm. Available online at insurejerseyshore.com. Eberhard State Farm in their new offices, 600 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. 570-865-5191.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Everything costs more, and lots of us are worried about how much we'll spend this coming winter to heat our homes. Make sure to call Hollick's Colon Oil in Jersey Shore. 570-398-1190, providing stove, nut, pea, buckwheat, and rice coal, heating oil, outside mix kerosene, and off-road diesel. A fixture in the Jersey Shore community for the last 72 years. Hollick's Colon Oil, ready to keep you warm this winter. 570-398-1190, online at hollickscolonoil.com.
Muncie Bank and Trust is proud of its long history of guiding families and business owners on their financial journey. When it comes to serving our communities, we know that trust, integrity, and reliability are what you've come to expect from Muncie Bank and Trust. So whether you're a family looking to purchase a place to call home or a business owner seeking the capital to grow, your journey to making those dreams a reality starts at Muncie Bank. Learn more at munciebank.com. FDIC insured, equal housing lender.
Life moves pretty fast, and so does technology. So we should be proud that after over 40 years, Reese's Print Shop in Lock Haven still provides excellent work for everyone in Bear Country. So many other print shops have closed their doors, but Randy Reese still offers digital and offset printing at competitive prices, and they're fast. Reese's Print Shop, 7 East Main Street, Lock Haven. Stop in, email Randy at Reese'sPrintShop.com or call 570-748-6528. Reese's Print Shop. See what we can do for you or your company.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
vanilla latte for Mike.
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Bear Country 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly, we're back here at Mifflinburg. The band's out. They're alive and well. Good numbers of the band. And the Wildcats, hey, Doug, they're off to a 3-1 season. Now, some people have questioned their strength of schedule. We don't get into the business of points and spreads and scores. This isn't Vegas in the odds game. But the Mifflinburg Coach Dressler class act was talking to Dr. Dady at a soccer game this morning, and he said, our daughters play together, and he specifically said, Nate Dressler as a coach is a phenomenal human being. I mean, character and integrity. He says we're trying to get him to take his principalship testing because we want him in our educational system at a higher level. He's just been phenomenal with kids.
We met him. First time I've ever been introduced to Coach before the game. Sean Hale, that does our scoring drives, knows him from the past, from coaching stops along the way. It seemed like a super nice guy. And, of course, his son, which you'll see number 12, won't be able to miss him tonight, 6'5" guy on a full scholarship to Wake Forest. Used to play quarterback for 3 years, now shifted to a wide receiver. And, Nate, he's a handful along with number 2, Troop, who is a true 6'7".
Yeah.
Tough matchup. So what you'll see from Mifflinburg, they throw the ball a lot, but what really makes them effective is those tough matchups with the height advantage that they have on anybody that they're going to play.
Yeah, Troop came out of the locker room when we were talking to Coach Dressler. He's all a 6'7". He's the perfect H-back. What that means for those listening and viewing at home is the H-back is the guy that can play tight end, a little bit of that up full back, short slot, or even break out into receiver. He's 6'7". He currently has offers from Bucknell, Columbia, I believe Yale, so he's an intelligent kid, and a preferred walk-on at Penn State. So, the numbers here at Mifflinburg this year are down. They've only got 22 kids. They're really kind of banged up. But out of those 22 kids we talked about, they got 2 D1 athletes, which is rare.
That's a high percentage when you think about that. You'll usually see maybe one D1 athlete, certainly some D2, D3 kids, but boy, to have those 2 high-level athletes, and they use them to great advantage. What's really interesting about Mifflinburg, they score about 37 points per game, but they give up a lot, 27.3 points per game. They throw it all over the place. They average 433 yards per game, but they also give up 326. So every game that they've had other than the shutout of Midwest, to start the season, they've scored a lot of points, but they've given up a lot of points. So we'll see, again, what happens tonight against probably what will be a pretty run-heavy Jersey Shore Bulldog offense, at least to start the ball game.
Yeah, I think so. We talked about last week, the one thing Jersey Shore did extremely well, it was the first time this season where they spread the wealth over the entire receiving corps. Several kids got touches, and we talked about locking on to Dathan Tyson and not becoming, nearsighted in the sense of the passing game. But having the tremendous fortitude to control the ground, the line of scrimmage, the offensive line and defensive line for Jersey Shore have definitely matured quickly.
Oh, and they've really played well. We highlighted that a couple times in last week's ball game, how that offensive unit has really become pretty quickly a pretty cohesive unit and have really done a nice job, particularly in the last couple ball games.
Yeah, we're going to cut the commercial. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Nelsons, it's cruising around their Montana ranch on a John Deere Gator XUV 835R. With 3,000 acres, there's plenty of work to do.
We're not afraid to jump in and help each other out.
That's how they've kept their ranch going for 5 generations.
It's all about efficiency.
Like teaching visitors to fly fish.
The whole joy with fly fishing is matching the hatch.
Run with us on a Gator XUV 835R and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
There's still an Agway in your local area. X-Agway in Jersey Shore. They have been supplying the community for years. X-Agway. Everything you'll need to win the seasonal fight. Whether it's fertilizer and lime for lawn and garden season, or rock salt and ice melt for the winter weather. Right now, it's time to set your food plots and grab wood pellets from X-Agway. 112 Harris Street, Jersey Shore, X-Agway. Local people taking care of local people. 570-398-2770.
If you want to sell a house or buy a house, make it Anchor Realty in Lock Haven. Dave Winkleman and his team are ready to help you. Dave's a Jersey Shore graduate. He's ready to help fellow Bulldogs get the deal they want. He's motivated to market your home and find you a new one. 570-858-0777 for Dave Winkleman and the team at Anchor Realty. Ask Dave how he can guarantee your home will sell within 90 days. 57 Belfont Avenue, Lock Haven. Anchor Realty, ready to serve you. 570-858-0777.
Need insurance? See Fager Insurance. Fager Insurance at 511 East Church Street in Lock Haven is an independent agency representing Erie Insurance. Fager Insurance works for you to get the best coverage at the best possible price with superior service. You are the person that counts. If you have a loss or claim, Fager Insurance will be there to guide you through the process. Fager Insurance offers auto, home, flood, business, and life insurance. Since 1964, Clinton County residents have trusted Fager Insurance at 511 East Church Street, Lock Haven. You should too. Fager Insurance.
This week's Jersey Shore playoff game sponsored by Mealy Manufacturing, makers of the Pennsylvania skill games you find everywhere. Powered by Pace-O-Matic and manufactured in Muncie, Mealy Manufacturing, the skill game industry leaders. Their games provide legal entertainment to players and the opportunity to use their skills and strategies to win every time. Vastly different than gambling or casino-style games, skill games require players to think and take action to win. Mealy Manufacturing, supporting the community and employing local workers. 800-338-8401.
A proud supporter of the Jersey Shore Bulldogs, TLC Fuels is a family-owned local business. Established in 1998, TLC Fuels serves residential, farm, and commercial customers from their Jersey Shore location just off of Route 220 at the Pine Creek exit. From fuel oil to diesel fuel and gasoline, TLC Fuels has thrived on a consistent dedication to you and your family. Call 570-753-5722 today.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly. We're back here at Mifflinburg tonight for Week 5. Doug, Jersey Shore, 3-0-1 coming into the night with a tie at Selinsgrove. That 21-21 game a couple weeks ago. Since then, Jersey Shore has played Shikellamy, and they manhandled them last Monday night in Jersey Shore. It was electric at Thompson Street. 4 picks in that first quarter, led off by Peyton Samar into the end zone. The neighbor of Max Engel. The script was like something out of a fairy tale. And
really was. He talked 4 picks, 4 different players, 4 scores. You can't write it any better than that for sure. And the Bulldogs really played well throughout the ball game. What was great, Nate, and you mentioned it before we went on the air, Coach Gravish was able to get some starters pulled out in the second quarter already and rest them that whole second half. Tate Sechrist in particular might have played a couple special team snaps, but other than that, some players got a chance to kind of hopefully get some fresher legs tonight. Weather may be a factor. We'll see. Not raining right now. Actually, the temperatures are good, so we'll see if rain comes into the factor later on as the night goes on.
Yeah, so tonight, Jersey Shore, I think they're looking to build upon some of that momentum from last week. So when we talk about what they did well last week was they were both sides of the coin were covered offensively in the sense of the running game and the passing game. So the rain is coming down here tonight in Mifflinburg, so hopefully this will clear up. And Doug, we're going to come back with starting lineups, keys to the kingdoms, and a lot of things we have a chance to talk about. But we're going to break again and go back to the station for commercial. Just trying to get in step here tonight lots of things happening. Every time we travel out of town, it's unique in kind of the format of how the pregame, is carried out. So you're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Always supporting the Jersey Shore Bulldogs, it's the Twilight Diner in Loganton, open 7 days and featuring a full menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and daily specials. So good people ask for their food by name, and they bring that great taste on the road with the Twilight Diner on wheels. And now at this area's newest venue for weddings, reunions, and gatherings, Miller's Barn in Tylersville. Hold your next event in the middle of Amish country. Twilight Diner, 603 North Mill Street, Loganton. 570-725-3911 for takeout.
Your local area insurance agency is McMahon, Ferguson & Associates. They handle your home, auto, commercial, and life insurance needs. Let's talk life insurance. If something happened to you, would your family be prepared? Let McMahon, Ferguson & Associates craft the perfect Erie life insurance policy for you. Call 570-398-4090 or visit 1020 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. Your local Erie insurance agency is McMahon, Ferguson & Associates.
For a great time, make it Baldbird's Brewing Company in Jersey Shore. Enjoy 24 different beers in the family-friendly tap room where pets are welcome too, and a full selection of local spirits, wines, and specialty cocktails. Don't miss our weekly family game night and trivia night. Baldbird's Brewing Company offers event space for meetings, weddings, and private and semi-private party spaces. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Baldbird's Brewing Company, Schaefer Lane, Jersey Shore. Online at baldbirdsbrewing.com.
It seems like there's an automotive parts store on every corner, and they all probably have the part or product you need. But do they know what you need? And do they know they have it? For automotive parts and knowledge, come to the automotive parts store that has automotive experience, Napa Auto Parts. The staff at Napa Auto Parts has the experience to answer your questions and make sure you get what you need. Napa Auto Parts, Hogan Boulevard, Mill Hall, and Bridge Street, Jersey Shore. Napa Auto Parts, Central PA's trusted source for automotive parts and knowledge for generations.
Fredham Disposal has proudly served the community with residential and commercial trash removal for the last 55 years. They're a family-owned company that cares about the environment and their customers, providing extensive trash removal and recycling options. Their fleet of trucks provide reliable pickup service, and they give you a chance to pay your bill online. Fredham Disposal, here for you. Call 57039-81814. Fredham Disposal.
We have moved. Alexander Kia is offering the same great deals on new and used Kias at our new location on Broad Street in Montoursville. Come see Doug Hilliard and the great selection of 2024 Kias, the Telluride, Seltos, and the amazing all-new Kia EV9. SUV capability, EV power. Take advantage of all the extras available at Alexander Kia, including free state inspection and car washes with every service appointment. Alexander Kia, Broad Street, Montoursville, online, alexanderkia.com.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
Coach Gravish, Nate Carpenter, Bear Country Sports. Man, it's just great to be back. How to get here? 3-0-1. Next opponent up. This past week, you guys had some success here at home. It was a tremendous night. Anything you want to talk briefly about?
It was a special game, a game where the players wanted to honor Max with their performance. It was very difficult for them to probably prepare for, but I think they did a great job, as anybody who witnessed the game could attest to. We're just so thankful. And first, I just want to say that our number one thoughts are always of Max, of his family, prayers and thoughts to Max, his mother and father, his grandparents, his sister, all his aunts and uncles and cousins, and his nephew, and to the entire family. So they'll always be in our thoughts and prayers, and we just wanted to honor Max the best we could. And we do appreciate all those people that have supported us, to give us encouragement to go out and to be able to honor Max. There's just countless amount of people from the eastern part of the state to the western part of the state, and most importantly, from this Jersey Shore community. It's been unreal. It's been unreal. And from our leadership with our superintendent, our principal, Mr. Justin Armbruster, our guidance counselors, our teachers, it takes all of us, and it's going to take all of us to continue. But they've done an exceptional job. and the student body. Just everybody out there is trying to help us. God bless them, and we appreciate it. But most importantly, we always want to keep in our thoughts and prayers and honor Max and keep our thoughts and prayers with the entire Engel family.
Yeah, it was a special night. And again, from the Bear Country family, we also want to say our condolences through the process of grieving and mourning, and that you're loved. Next team up, Mifflinburg, and they do some things. The roster's a little lean this year, but they've got some targets at wide receiver, and they've been through a couple of quarterbacks. Tell us a little bit about their offensive philosophy and some things that they can impose or some threats that they come with.
Well, I know Coach Jason Dressler very well. He's an outstanding coach, and his entire staff is outstanding. We just want to say, we're very sorry, and our condolences to his assistant coach, Flickinger, and his family for their loss, and to the entire Mifflinburg program. We respect them. They're a class act, and their class act, they didn't have to move this game back to Saturday for us. We appreciate it. And, they have a lot of offensive weapons. It starts with their son, who hasn't been starting quarterback until this time. We're preparing as though he could come in at any time. He's got a full baseball scholarship at Wake Forest. He's very intelligent, as his father and his mother are. And they got guys who can just sling the ball around. They must be a bunch of baseball kids, and they can catch the ball very well. So they have a multitude of formations offensively. They can try to get, number two or Mr. Dressler on different personnel. Their tight ends about 6'7", 6'8". Dressler's about 6'4", 6'5". So you got to be aware of where they're lined up. It should be a great challenge. I got a lot of faith in our guys, but they are a great football team.
Yeah, and speaking of Coach Dressler, I know Dr. Ken Dady from Jersey Shore went down there, superintendent. He recently talked to me at a soccer game and said he's trying to get Coach Dressler to get his principal certificate because he is a class act both on the field and in the classroom.
He sure is. He's one of our directors at the state level with us in the PSFCA. He's our District 4 state director, so he did a great job in his first year with the overall board, and he's just a class act.
Let's go back to the Dogs. Obviously, Alex gets a swelled head sometimes with the 5-2 stingy defense, but I got to be honest. I never saw 4 picks in a quarter in my entire life at any level, from Pop Warner, Pee Wees to the professional levels. It was a great game last week, so there's some maturation in the linebacking core and in the secondary. What are some things, though, offensively? Loomis has really matured. There's been a process there, nice arm strength, making some decent decisions. This past week, he spread the wealth a little more, hit some other targets other than Dathan Tyson. So what do you see the offense doing gradually as you incorporate it?
Yeah, we would like to throw a little bit more, but we didn't feel it's appropriate in some of the games at, different points in the game where we maybe have an early lead and this is the score. Other teams might not see that as good sportsmanship. But Jaron's just a fantastic individual, and I might say to him, "Hey, I wish we could throw a few." Don't worry about that. We'll get those throws in another time. But he's been an outstanding leader. He's the quarterback of the scout team. He's right on target with other quarterbacks that we've had in the past. Each have their own strengths, and so does Jaron. And I look forward to a big season for him. Our wide receivers are doing a really good job right now. We got about 4 or 5 guys in there, and there's a couple more that are challenging each and every week. But Dathan Tyson had a big game, and Ashton Sweely had a big game. Peyton Samar had a big game. We had Elijah Jordan had a nice catch over there. He's like a dual weapon, both as a slot receiver. We have a couple of good running backs, and we want to be a balanced attack. There's going to be some weeks where we hopefully could get 400 yards rushing in a game. There might be another game where we need to get 300 yards passing in a game. So, whatever that is and when that occurs, that's okay with us as long as the orange and black are in the end zones.
So one more question. We always talk about philosophy, different things this week. Give our listeners a glimpse into the Anna Sport League. Like, you go over there on Sundays. I know you talked about 1,000 fans and tents all around the field. But what does that mean to the future of this program and the sustainability?
Well, I think you see it at our games. We had youth night in here a couple weeks ago. We had how many football players in here, how many of the cheerleaders. We had all those coaches, their families. We got a couple of their ball boys down there on our sidelines on Friday nights. And so they know all the players. They watch part of our practice. Actually, last week here when we were practicing, They were sharing field because of Annis Fort days, historical days out there, so they couldn't work out on their own practice areas. They were in here, so it's always great to see those guys.
Well, listen, here we go. Mifflinburg, next team up. The Wildcats were on the road Saturday night. From the Bear Country family, we wish you nothing but the best. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
It sure is. Thank you.
Good enough.
WQBR.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly. We are back at Mifflinburg. We just want to say, if you're tuning into the program right now, welcome aboard. It's going to be an awesome night, Week 5 here. Jersey Shore 3-0-1 with a 1 tie. Mifflinburg 3-1. Doug, we're going to get to sponsorship and then talk about starting lineups.
Always give great thanks to our sponsors, Stephen and Alicia Wadsworth from Lock Haven, for being a patron sponsor of the Jersey Shore Bulldog football team and our broadcast all season long. River Valley Internet for providing the bandwidth needed to bring you the broadcast. River Valley Internet, they never forget. We have a choice. Kickoff's brought to you all season long by Joe's Equipment. Go see the folks just off Cement Drive, Jersey Shore. Steel parts service at Joe's Equipment, and then the out-of-town scoreboard, which we'll talk about a little bit later as we get a chance. Brought to you all season long by Tie Dot Embroidery and Duke Fravel. Special shout-out to him all season long for everything he did for Jersey Shore High School football and Tie Dot and Embroidery. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and we have a new one on board for our new sponsor, Player of the Game tonight. Mountaintop and Provisions and Donnie Breon Jr. up there in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley. Thanks for coming on board, Donnie, and being a sponsor of our Player of the Game, which we'll get to in the second half.
Yeah, thanks, Donnie, for tuning in and for jumping on board this week. And it's nice when the Bear doesn't have to reach out, you reach in. We just had tremendous support this year. Again, share the link. Sign up for the Bear Country 999 YouTube channel. That way live feeds pop up instantly. And you can also refer friends and family. Tonight for Jersey Shore on offense, number 62, the tackle, Owen Vandruff, 6'1". He's a junior, 255 pounds. The other tackle, Slate Sechrist, number 56. He's a junior, 6 foot, 205 pounds. Dyson Delaney, the one guard, 74. He's a senior. He's a house of a man, 6'4", 275. John Dammer, number 71, the other guard, 6'2". He's a senior, 235 pounds. Mason Larson is the center, 69. The 6 foot, 225 pound sophomore who's maturing as we speak. The tight end duties go to Luke Thompson, number 10. He's a sophomore, 6 foot, 190. Quarterback is Jaron Loomis, number 18. He's a senior, 6'3", 225. But Paul Hale, number 3, is getting a lot of reps as a junior. Fullback, Tate Sechrist, 31. You'll see him a lot tonight. You'll hear his name called offensively and defensively. 6 foot, 195 pound senior. The tailback, number 1, Elijah Jordan. He's a junior, 6 foot, 190. The wide receivers tonight, Dathan Tyson, number 23. 6 foot, 192 senior. Peyton Samar, 43, 6 foot, 180 pound senior. Look to also see the potential of Paul Hale and others. Luke Snyder getting some reps as well at receiver. So, Doug, why don't you call the defense for Mifflinburg?
For the Mifflinburg Wildcats on the defensive side, at the defensive end is Kyler Troop, number 2. You can't miss him, 6'7", 225, and a senior. On the other side, Mason Shinek, number 50, 6'3", 210, a sophomore. At the defensive tackles, Caleb Smith, number 69, 6 foot, 270, a senior. On the other side, Xavier Cole, number 62, 5'9", 220, sophomore. And at the nose guards, they run a 5'2" as well. Nathan Criswell, number 63, 6'3", 310 as a sophomore, big man in the middle. The two linebackers, they have them both as inside linebackers. Caden Komet, number 22, 5'8", 170, senior. And inside linebacker Brian Reeder, number 16, 5'9", 155, a junior. In the defensive backfield, two cornerbacks, James Dolan, number 10, 5'9", 140, a junior. And Jackson Griffin, number 1, 6'1", 170, and a sophomore. And the two safeties, one a free safety, Sean Gradowski, number 3, 5'11", 165, a senior. And the strong safety, Landon Murray, number 31, 5'11", 175, a sophomore. Nate, since they're coming out, talk about the captains for Mifflinburg. It's two Troop, number 19, injured Martin, who's their sophomore quarterback, who should be back in a couple weeks, number 12, Dressler, number 3, Godowski. And then for Jersey Shore coming out, number 23, Dathan Tyson, number 43, Peyton Samar, number 18, Jaron Loomis, and number 31, Tate Sechrist. And then lastly, our officiating crew tonight from the Keystone chapter, led by referee Joe Klebon. Joe's also a commissioner in Northumberland County. Usually see him a couple of times a year, so they're going to lead the way tonight.
So, again, tonight for the Bulldogs, we talked about last week, some keys to the kingdom. the improvement in the return game, not letting the punts hit the ground. Offensively, they look much more balanced, and that's really difficult as they spread the field, which really opened up the ground game between the tackles. Defensively, I don't have a whole lot to comment on. They're going to be tested tonight in the secondary. Let's face it, regardless, a quarterback doesn't have to do much when you have 6'7" and 6'4" on the edge. They can just throw it up for grabs. The undersized secondary for Jersey Shore, hard hitting, disciplined. They've really, really grown tremendously in that, Doug. So we'll see. It's going to be a good contest tonight.
Well, tough matchup in that defensive backfield for the Bulldogs. We'll see what Coach Alex Jackson and the staff dial up tonight. So just coming in, just some tidbits in the rankings every year for WBRE. Jersey Shore is fourth behind Southern Columbia, Selinsgrove, and Scranton Prep. In the WNEP, Jersey Shore is second behind only Southern Columbia. Selinsgrove is number 3. Danville is number 4 in that. So those rankings are fun just to pay attention to. But you're right, Nate. The big matchup here tonight will be how does the defense of the Bulldogs handle those tall and very athletic wide receivers, slot backs for the Mifflinburg Wildcats.
Yeah, barring a miracle, I really don't anticipate Mifflinburg being able to establish a ground game tonight. So it's going to come down to how many times can they get the ball in the air, limit the turnovers, and move the chains. And if they get behind the chains, that's going to be tough sledding for the Wildcats.
Well, what's interesting, they're down to their quote-unquote third-string quarterback, Reebsum. He, against Central Mountain last week, threw for 418 yards and 4 second-half touchdowns to bring them from behind to win by 10, 43-33. So as everybody can see, Jersey Shore elected to receive. Mifflinburg actually won the toss and deferred for the second half.
Yeah, so the Bulldogs return tonight. In deep to return, Brody Herr, number 11, and Elijah Jordan, number 1. We're underway, high school football, 12-minute quarters, and the kick is away. It's a squib. It's a low roller. Elijah Jordan does pick it up. He fumbles the ball, picks it up, gets a block initially. Up the middle he goes, tries to get a few more yards. He's going to be out around the 30, Doug. But, you know, the field is wet. For those tuning in, it has been raining pregame.
Well, you know, weather has not been a factor through the first 4 weeks of the season. It's not raining at the moment, but obviously the ball is going to be slicker with the rain on the turf. So we'll see how both teams react to that tonight. Hopefully the Bulldogs can hold on to it and limit those turnovers or have none at all.
They're going to do it again. Okay, so the Bulldogs come out, and they're going to take a knee. In their first play from scrimmage tonight will commemorate and honor the memory of Max Engel, as he was also a captain tonight, honorary captain for the Bulldogs on the road here facing the Wildcats. You know, much respect, just tremendous respect by and large with each team that Jersey Shore comes up again. And regardless, there's the football side to things, which is they are opponents, and each team wants to win tonight. But there's a lot of times in life, the wins that take place off the field come down to character, integrity, and truly the balance between passion and compassion.
Oh, no question about it. And the Bulldogs, of course, lined up with only 10 players to take that knee, but the Wildcats waved off the penalty to start the ballgame.
Official's going to get the clock set here. The play clock was down to 21. Should be first down. Play clock reset here. 29-yard line for the Bulldogs. Under center, Loomis. Single back, Jordan. Left to right goes Samar. It's the counter, and he's gone. Tate Sechrist down the sideline, 40, 30, 25, cuts back. Oh, and trips up inside the 20, down inside the 15. And, you know, that's something that we usually see set up. Truthfully, they go with the pitch first, come back with the counter, Doug, but immediately went to the counter tonight.
Well, Coach Gravish obviously saw something that made that first play a call. Great cutback there by Tate. Wildcats able to get a hand in just enough to trip them up, but what a great run to start the ball game.
First and 10, ball on the 11. Loomis under center, single back Jordan. It goes up the pop, tight end. It's up fullback pop inside. As he crossed the plane, he's close. They're going to mark him down inches from the goal line. So again, fullback pop, Doug, nothing fancy, just full steam ahead. Loomis under center. Tate Sechrist right up the gut and really untouched. And you know, just a tremendous three-play drive, but nothing there defensively to really slow down that Mannheim steamroller.
Well, that's been the problem for Mifflinburg. Offensively, they can score with anybody. Defensively, they have given up a lot of points in every ball game, and they really have given up chunk yardage in the rushing game. And boy, Bulldogs showed that on that first drive.
Loomis gets the hold down. Brody Herr is pure once again, so that takes it from 6 points to 7 points. Again, we're on the road here, Doug. So it started with the counter from the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs. Tate Sechrist got the counter, which again, just tremendous hole. Carried that down inside the 20. Next play was really a fullback dive or pop. And again, the next play was similar too.
And Tate Sechrist comes into the ballgame 75 carries for 459, a 6.12 average. So that's obviously going to go up. Long of 52, that will beat a race by that run as well. 10 TDs coming into the ballgame. Loomis taking that one in. Loomis is the third rusher that we keep track of here early in the season. 21 for 93, a 4.43 average, long of 10, 3 TDs. And Elijah Jordan, who obviously you'll see as the game goes on, 62 carries, 419, 6.76 average, long of 60, and 4 TDs. So the ground game of the Bulldogs, Nate, has been solid all season long, and they're looking to add to that tonight.
And regardless of what you talk about as opponent, strength of schedule, and who you're playing, that's an impressive drive no matter who you are up front in the trenches. 11:20 to go in the first quarter. Your Bulldogs on the scoreboard, 7-0. Kicking off, Brody Herr. The kick is high, short, returned, immediately tackled. Excellent push on that play. Paul Hale is in on the scrum. First to arrive on the scene. We talk about that grit, that grind, and that nose for the football.
Murray for Mifflinburg, he's a very good athlete for them, a two-way starter, of course. And it'll be interesting here with Reepsom now in his second start, third-string quarterback. See how he does against probably the best defense that they've seen thus far this year.
And they will take a knee as well. Everybody's coming in just to say, hey, appreciate you. We're still thinking about you. And so when we talk about, Mifflinburg tonight, Doug, we talked about the youth, really a third-string quarterback now in there and had some success last week. So delay a game. So thank you, Mifflinburg Wildcats, your first class. So we talk about, too, in the pregame, not sure whether this has been affirmed or confirmed, but Mifflinburg, we believe, lost a lineman this week to a broken ankle, which doesn't help their depth up front. They're going to start on their own 19, first and 10. Yeah, they need to get the play clock reset here. It's down to 14. Everybody's so focused on the pregame respect factor that no flag. Flag's picked up. So you're seeing it right at home, folks. Quarterback is Cole Reepsom, number 21, in the shotgun. Quad car here to the left, single to the right. He's going to go immediately to the air. It's out, and it's dropped. And even with that pitch and catch, Doug, I mean, that was literally in a blink. He had somebody in his face.
Well, that's going to be the difference. Can Reepsom be effective with pressure either up the middle or from the ends? Of course, Tate Sechrist leading the way there. What is that going to do to his throwing motion as a young, fairly inexperienced quarterback? But 400 yards in your first start, that's not too bad.
No, he had an excellent game last week. Reepsom in the shotgun, twins left. Second and 10. Looking to the flats immediately. It's up in the air. Met. Good hit by Elijah Jordan, but not until there's a pickup of a couple.
Well, we've talked about that in past seasons and thus far this year. Those slants are pretty almost impossible to cover because if you come up too much, he's going to go over your head with it. So you let him catch it, make the tackle right away, no yards after the catch. Good play there by the Bulldog defense.
They're going to call it 5 yards on that pickup, which is going to make it 3rd down and 5 on the 24-yard line. Reepsom in the shotgun, backs to his left and right, singles left and right. Snap is back. He looks to the flats immediately. It's up in the air, wide open. It's picked off. Picked off. That's number 13, and that's Snyder on the pick. Ball slightly underthrown, but Snyder was Johnny on the spot.
Not a great throw there, a little bit underthrown. Again, if you have a guy like Troop out there at 6'7", you really have to throw it over the top. Just let him, make a play against a defender again because you can't match up him with sidewise. So a little bit underthrown there, but good reaction, good INT for the Bulldogs.
1st and 10, 44-yard line. Loomis went from under center. It looks like he's going to be in the shotgun now. Single back to his right. Elijah Jordan. Handoff. No, that's Brody Herr. No, that's Tate Sechrist. My apologies. Breaks a tackle. Well, I tell you what, Doug, I've got to focus here because with the lighting tonight, it's tough until they give us a shoulder and at least give us the backside of their jersey.
Great job there by Dammer and Slate Sechrist on the left side. Big hole every run thus far for Tate Sechrist.
In the gun, Loomis. That's 1st and 10. Another big run for Sechrist. Hands off immediately up the middle. He doesn't wrap up. Inside the 10, 5. Down inside the, nearly crosses the plane. Thought I heard an inadvertent whistles, Doug, but that's going to be first and goal inside the 5.
Great end to that play by Tate Sechrist. Didn't really have a chance to make a move and just took on the defender and bowled him over.
First and goal from the 2. Handoff immediately to Tate Sechrist, and it's just, to be truthfully honest, Doug, I don't know. Again, I don't want to sound impartial tonight, but I don't know if I've ever seen this type of domination up front. I mean, there was nobody there within 5 yards of that tackle off the line.
Well, and what you talked about, Nate, early in the ball game with the injuries that Mifflinburg has, sometimes you say, hey, a yard, we can't handle them up front, just let them score. Let us get back on the offensive side.
Hold is down, kick is up, Brody Herr, and it looks good. Hands go vertical. Officials' hands go vertical. So Brody Herr, that's another testament to the kicking and really just having this season. When you score often, Doug, you get a lot of practice.
Well, we want to make a note. So with the interception by Snyder, that's the Bulldogs' 6th interception in a game and a quarter. That's really, really impressive because early in the season we talked that particularly against Pottsville and then Lewisburg, the defensive backs were not making plays on the football. Now they're doing that. They've made that adjustment. They've obviously worked on it in practice. And even though that ball was underthrown, your defensive back still has to make the play. It's just to go up and high point that for the interceptions. That's a nice play by Snyder to set up the defense, set up the offense on a short field. And, boy, the ground game right now for the Bulldogs against this Mifflinburg Wildcat team is really overwhelming.
It is, and to be frank, like when you look at the Bulldogs, one of the areas it's harder sometimes to assess is what's going on up front with their blocking. Last year they had some tremendous linemen. This year the line is becoming really, really tough to defend. Kick is deep inside the 5-yard line. Brody Herr, number 31, returning the kick. Really struggled to get traction there, Doug. That looked like Landon Murray, the sophomore, on the return. So Turf Monster got him here with the wet conditions.
It looked like he wanted to make a move on that play, but he just couldn't get that foot to get any firm holding there, so tough one for him. Bulldog coverage, as has been the case for most of the season, really, really good. So the Wildcats, they're pretty deep in their own territory at their 16 to start this drive.
So Mifflinburg has done a lot through the air this year. We talked about the performance last week of Cole Reepsom, the quarterback, coming in 3rd string and having a field day at Central Mountain. Twins left, he's in the gun. 1st and 10. Flag on the play. Yeah, the clock really was winding down there. I thought they might get the play off, but that's going to be 5 yards. So 5 yards that Mifflinburg can ill afford to lose tonight.
Well, Dressler, as you would expect, number 12, the former quarterback, now a wide receiver, leads the team in catches. Then Troop is second. Troop had over 120 yards last week. Troop also plays at that defensive end position, a very, very good player. So, again, that'll be the matchup all night long, Troop and Dressler for this Bulldog defense.
In the gun, Reepsom looks to the flats, immediately nearly deflected, caught. Brody Herr got his hands up. Brody Herr went from the line, bounced out to the flats a little bit, tried to get a hand on that football, but the pass is complete. So that's for a pickup of 1.
Gradowski with the catch, and he is in the mix there, has 15 catches on the year. Mifflinburg's athletes at their skill positions are very, very good, but they're going to have a chance at some point to go down the field.
And that's the truth. And if you don't have the time, boy, that's tough unless it's a one-step drop and just throw it up. Twins left, Reepsom in the gun, backs to his left and right. 2nd and 14. Samar comes in the box but bounces back, goes to the flats, caught immediately, and he's a big body, and that's what we talked about. We talked about Dressler being just the 6'4" pitcher headed to Wake Forest, but you could see what size and athleticism does on that completion.
Well, he's a big guy, not only in height-wise, but he's pretty good weight as well. Really showed some toughness there, breaking a tackle or two to get ahead, set him up here in 3rd and fairly short, about 4.
So Mifflinburg found out what they could do there on 2nd down. 3rd and 4, they're not that far behind the chains here. Reepsom in the shotgun. Twins right. Slight motion. Snap is back. He looks immediately to the Fats. Hands up. Troop catches it, and he's going to move the chains. You see that big 6'7" frame go up, Doug, and when he can high point that football, it's impossible to defend.
Well, really, what you can see early in this ball game, this is going to be a quarterback and basically two receivers on almost every play. They're going to look to Troop and Dressler, as they should, on every play. And if they're open, they're going to throw it to one of them to try and make a play. Nice conversion there.
We talked about the underthrown ball that Snyder did such a nice job of picking off. But Troop, man, if you can get it to the outside shoulder and get it up, it's going to be tough to defend. 8:30 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0. The Dogs lead the Wildcats. 1st and 10 on the 28 as Mifflinburg moves the chains. Reeves him in the shotgun. Goes to the flats immediately. Up top. And that's a blown coverage. That's a blown coverage. Someone bid on that, and Dressler literally had about 7 to 8 yards of separation.
In the game against Central Mountain last week, when the Wildcats were behind at halftime, I watched part of that game, and I thought, hey, man, Central Mountain, they're dominating. They were running the football, but then in that second half, Mifflinburg had 2 plays of over 50 yards, 4 touchdowns where coverage was blown, wide open, went for the score, got him back in the ball game.
Dressler to the right side, Troop to the left side, Reeps him in the gun. 2nd and 10. Pressure to the flats. He's open. Boy, it's hard to overthrow 6'7", but he did.
Well, that's a very difficult throw. People forget how far that throw is on a line toward the sidelines. If you're not right on the money, the receiver has no chance to make an adjustment and come up with a catch there. Whitman on the coverage there. What great experience, though, for the Bulldog defensive backs, because, you know, as the season goes on and hopefully in the playoffs, if the Bulldogs can advance that far, you're going to see some receivers that you don't match up with well. This is a good test.
For sure. 3rd down and 10 on the 28-yard line. Reeps him in the shotgun. Twins left. Goes immediately. It's going to be a screen. It's going to be a screen. Well thrown to Dressler underneath. Dressler gets upfield. Beautiful screen pass. Receiver came in from the split-out right position. Was dragging across the middle, and you know, we call that jailbreak. You let the defensive line come in, right? And boom, there it is.
What you'd love to see is that your defensive line, the rushers, recognize that and literally just stop and turn around. But, boy, it's so hard. You're under full speed. You think, hey, I got another step or two and I can get to the quarterback, and you just run out of time. Another second straight 3rd down conversion.
Just great coaching on that play. 3rd down and 10, you're behind the chains. And the play call is what really sets that up. So that's 2 first downs in a row for Mifflinburg. You know, that's impressive. We talked last week, Shikellamy. There were 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter when they finally got their first down, Doug.
I'm not surprised at all that Mifflinburg is moving the football. They're going to do that at times in every ball game because of their offensive weapons. But we'll take a quick look at least part of the out-of-town scoreboard, again brought to you all season long by Tie Dot Embroidery. Go see the folks on Charles Street in Jersey Shore for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. So Montoursville had no game this week. The team from Canada didn't have enough players and canceled that game. Lewisburg picked up their 2nd win of the season. 20-3 over Central Columbia. Milton all over Holy Redeemer, who's winless, 66-0. Midwest shut out by Hughesville, 41-0. Mount Carmel big win over Bloomsburg, 69-20.
So Mifflinburg, 2 first downs in a row, inching towards midfield, just over the 40-yard line at the 41. 1st and 10. Reeves him in the gun. Motions right. Pressure coming. Hands up. Great pass. Great completion in rhythm to number 3, Sean Gradotsky.
So the pressure is getting through, but the problem with that is they're operating out his shotgun. Reepsom is 3-step drop. He takes 1 look and lets it go. So unless you just come completely clean, which is very unusual, he's going to have a chance to get the football. And I tell you, for a 3rd-string guy, Reepsom, he can throw the football very, very well, and that timing is becoming right on target here for the Mifflinburg Wildcats.
You know, and that time the Dogs blitzed and were not able to get to Reepsom. So 2nd and 4 on the 48 in the gun. Looking to the right side, hands up, deflected. Oh, and nearly picked. Great job by Thompson, number 10 for the Bulldogs. You know, getting some reps now at defensive end. And, you know, they teach those dogs to really get up, get vertical.
And nice play for the sophomore Luke Thompson. He's got good physical skills, good physical height, and, again, really schooled well, getting those hands up. And that's what you have to do because Reepsom is not a big guy in there, about 5'10" from that quarterback position.
And, you know, the Wildcats not behind the chains tonight much. 3rd down and 4, trying to get their 3rd consecutive first down in a row. At the 48-yard line, in the gun is Reepsom. Twins left. immediately to the back out of the backfield and dropped. It is a forward pass. That was in and out of the hands. And, again, conditions maybe, but a well-thrown football.
Ball that absolutely should have been caught by number 28, Susan, and that puts him in that fourth down. May not have had a chance to run through the defender to pick up the first down, but still a pass that should have been caught. So Mifflinburg setting up for their first punt of the ball game.
And for a moment, I thought that Mifflinburg might actually go for this because regardless of the length of field, they've had trouble stopping the Bulldogs' offense. So back to punt. He does get rid of it. It's a nice kick. And again, not caught and rolls out of bounds.
That's a tough one there. He's a left-footed punter, and Elijah, that's the first time Bulldogs have seen that all season long, and there was a defender coming down on the fly there right in front of Elijah, and he just shied away from it. Again, didn't want to fumble the football, but Mifflinburg got the great roll inside, going to set down the Bulldog offense right about their own 6-yard line. So we'll sprinkle in a couple scores as we go. Shamokin over Central Mountain last night, 27-14, and in a ball game tonight, Selinsgrove leads over Shikellamy 14-0 early in that ball game.
Loomis under center at the 6-yard line on first down. Fakes it, comes back with the counter. Tate Sechrist is met. So Mifflinburg, that plays a lot different in midfield. Coming out from deep in your own territory makes that play tougher.
Number 63, Criswell, nice play there defensively. Really the first short stop for this Mifflinburg defense tonight.
Under center, 2nd and 8. Right to left goes Dathan Tyson. Quick pitch left is Elijah Jordan. Does it get the edge? Gets down the sideline. Off to the races until he gets pushed out of bounds. We'll see where the spot is.
Really solid job there by the wide receivers to get the hands on the defenders, give Elijah a nice lane toward the sidelines. Got what he could got, picked up a nice first down for Jordan.
So the speed of Elijah Jordan around the left side. In the gun, Loomis hands off to Tate Sechrist up the middle, and they're stacking the box now. The Wildcats finally have an answer for the ground game of Jersey Shore.
Well, Mifflinburg had to make an adjustment there, so they're kind of crowding inside to kind of cut off that play. Now we'll see how the Bulldogs react with some different plays in the rushing game.
2nd and 8. Fumbled snap. Loomis rolls right, goes deep. Adjusted. Picked off. Good adjustment by number 1. That's Jackson Griffith, the 6-foot, 160-pound sophomore. So Loomis was fumbled, flushed out of the pocket, and just under threw the football off his back foot.
Yeah, kind of one of those plays where the timing's thrown off with the mishandling of the ball from the snap. He made the right read. That was the person to throw it to, but really couldn't get his feet underneath himself to throw it, trying to over the top for Dathan Tyson, right to the defender for the INT.
So Mifflinburg right back on offense, 1st and 10, 5:34 to go in the first quarter. Reebson in the shotgun, twins right, single left. Goes deep to Dressler, and they're bumping. Surprised we didn't see Laundry there, Doug.
Well, both players are running. The ball's kind of thrown over the top. Neither one really had a chance to make a play on the football, so a good no call there, at least for the Bulldog perspective of that. And what will be interesting, will Mifflinburg even try to run the football? That's going to be the interesting thing here as this first and second quarter unfold.
I thought about that, and my response to that is most likely not. 2nd down and 10. In the gun is Reebson, twins left. Yeah, it's offsides on the defense, so we saw that. We got a really good glimpse of that for our viewers at home. His helmet, the bridge of his helmet, definitely crossed the neutral zone.
Yeah, the feet were not offside, but the helmet was, and that's all. Something has to go into the neutral zone. So an unforced error there by the defense. The team is learning. The penalties have not been a huge factor thus far in the season, but you got to learn. You can't give up the unforced yards where, again, it sets you up now in 2nd and short, just like you completed a pass on that first down.
Yeah, that's a huge play for Mifflinburg. 2nd down and 5 now on the 49, inside Bulldog territory. Reebson in the gun, twins left. He's going to look to the flats immediately. Fakes it, pumps it, goes to the flats. Number 3 makes a nice catch. And you see how they're shading Dressler now. Big-bodied, athletic, and that really gave room for Grodzki.
And that was a good adjustment there by Reebson from the quarterback position. Was going to throw it initially and then kind of pulled it down. Caden Walker, pretty good pressure there. Just not able to get a hand on it for the deflection. A couple more scores here from last night. South Williamsport and Canton both 4-0. Canton wins that one 27-21. Muncie wins big over North Penn Mansfield 40-19.
And I give Mifflinburg a tremendous amount of credit right now, going to the 3rd tier of quarterbacks and having the success they are. 1st and 10 on the 40. Reaps him in the gun. Right to left goes Grotzky. Going to look to the flats. He's going to go up top. Dressler's wide open. Wide open. Touchdown. Flag on the play on the back end. So it's going to be called back. It's going to be a hold, most likely. Yes, they just called it. But, man, that was a well-thrown football.
Well, he can throw it. There's no question about it. And Dressler really knows how to make adjustments to the football. Again, it's really a matchup problem. Again, that wasn't bad coverage there for Snyder. But when you go to make a play there, normally maybe you could stay with that offensive player. But Dressler at 6'4", 6'5", he just kind of goes over the top and can make a play that you just can't physically get to. So Mifflinburg obviously disappointed, but that call was made pretty early. And we haven't seen a whole lot of holding calls thus far, but you're going to see more in a team like Mifflinburg that passes the football on almost every play.
Well, and I've said for the last several handoffs, or I should say pass plays, even out of the gun, the Bulldogs have not been getting to the quarterback, which poses the question. So 1st and 20, touchdown call back on the hold in the gun. Right to left goes Grotzky. Throws immediately to the flats. Picked off. Bo Sechrist read it. Now that right there was a little bit of a breakdown between Grotzky and the quarterback, Reebson. I think he thought he was breaking out because there wasn't a Wildcat receiver in the vicinity.
What a great reaction, though, by Bo Sechrist to see that was an offline throw and to make a play on the ball just like an offensive receiver and come up with really a great catch diving toward the sidelines.
Under center, Loomis, single back, right to left goes Tyson. It's a quick pitch left again to Elijah Jordan. He makes a cutback, and that's just one of those things. We talk about his ability to plant the foot, which started last season early. He gets north and south quick, but not on a night like tonight.
Yep, just a little moisture on the field there, going to bring him down and actually come up with a loss of about 1 yard and actually get a marking it back, loss of about 3 on that play.
Loomis under center. He goes to the counter. And great defense. No, is he down or not? Yes, he is. They blow the play dead. Let's see who that is getting up off the pile.
Number 62, Xavier Kroll on that play. But nice play. They're bunching it inside, and they have some big guys. Again, that nose guard from Mifflinburg is at 270.
In the gun, Loomis goes up top. He's going to go to a fly route. No, he's going to sit down. Great defense. Spectacular coverage by Jackson Griffith. That's the route that Dathan Tyson likes to look off deep and sit down, and great defense.
Well, the Bulldogs missed one there because number 10 for the Bulldogs, Thompson, was wide open in a seam right when the play unfolded, and Loomis really hadn't gotten back to where he could take a look down the field. If he would have thrown it to him and hit him, he would have had a chance to take it all the way. But a good defensive play there by the Wildcats.
So 4th and 11 brings on Brody Hurd, a punt for the Bulldogs from the 47-yard line. Long count. Brody Hurd gets into one. It's low. It's returnable. Nope, they're going to let it roll. So from the 23 down inside the 20, going to be stopped around the 17-yard line. So good punt, again, not returnable, so that's a plus for the Bulldogs.
What's really been impressive is that Mifflinburg really getting overwhelmed in those first 2 drives, couldn't stop anything in the rushing game. They made some adjustments, and their guys inside on that defensive line have taken away the key play, that counter play that led to the first 2 touchdowns, and now it's time for the Bulldog offense to figure that out and make some adjustments as well. But you can tell why Mifflinburg's coming in at 3-1, Nate. They've made some adjustments, and they've got good athletes on both the line and in those skilled positions.
Same package they started the game in. Reeves him in the shotgun with 4 receivers bunched up to the left. 1st and 10 on the 18. Motions left to right. Snap is back. Goes deep. Good coverage again. Snyder on the coverage for the Bulldogs. Made a good break on the football.
That's a little bit of a misread as well for Reebson. He threw that about 15 yards over the receiver's head. So the receiver was actually open a little bit shorter than that. He thought he was going to be further down the field. So not a good read there. But again, Reebson only making his 2nd varsity start, and you can't argue with the results in last week's game, thrown over for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and hats off to Coach Dressler and his staff, because he talked about Tate Sechrist having a field day on those first 2 drives. They made some changes. That's just exceptional coaching. So 3:36 to go in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 10 on the 18. Reebson in the shotgun. Twins left. Goes immediately to the flats. Picked off. Whitman. Nearly a horse collar. He's still going. Big block by Bo Sechrist into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Hats off. Whitman didn't quit. They grabbed him from behind. I don't know whether they called the horse collar, but off a tip pass. One of those plays where defender in the right place at the right time gets the pick six.
That's a super play. Off the deflection, first of all, that's hard to catch it off the deflection, but then to show the determination to run through a good, hard, high tackle as that receiver's trying to bring him down and get into the end zone. That, I believe, is his first career touchdown from the defensive side. Really good play there, Peyton Whitman.
So, again, 3:24 to go. That's the third touchdown for the Bulldogs. Defense coming up big. Doug, if you would have told me that they'd have 8 interceptions in the last game and a quarter, I would have said those stats they're not doable. They're not doable. What do you think?
4 in the game last week in quarter number 1, 3 in the game here tonight, adding the 1 in the second half as well. So the Bulldog pass defense has really, really obviously come up huge here in the past game and a quarter. And putting points on the board, man, you just can't. You can't take that away. That just adds to what your offense can do on the field.
Snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, kick is good. Brody Herr 3 for 3 on the night, so odds have been in his favor. But let's talk briefly about what this defense has done. Here's the crazy thing about football. The pick six comes after a Dressler touchdown that's called back. So Mifflinburg, big momentum change, and the touchdown being called back on the hold, and then Jersey Shore scores again immediately.
It is interesting how that momentum can swing. Mifflinburg scores that touchdown. They're only down 7 with a lot of good feeling that they've made some adjustments to keep themselves in the ball game. That comes back. They give up the punt, and then big play there by Peyton Whitman, quarterback under pressure for the Wildcats, and Bulldogs added another 7 points on the board. So we'll try and get through that out-of-town scoreboard again, brought to you all season long by Tie Dot and Embroidery. Montgomery, Wyalusing wins big, 47-6. Troy over Athens, 62-6. The Trojans are 4-0 on the year, and then Williamsport fell to 1-3, losing 28-3 to Crestwood. And one more, Nate will squeeze it in. Lowestoft Township evens at 2-2 over a good Williams Valley team, 24-7.
So the penalty is marked off, 15 yards. Brody Herr kicking. It's down. And it sits. Barely crosses the goal line. Man, that thing checked up. It looked like your sand wedge, Doug on the 8th hole, baby. Checking up and spinning back, but it just a yard too long.
Murray thought that was going to bounce well into the end zone, and he was very lucky. He would have had to down that at about the 1 yard line. So the Wildcats will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 20. 3:23 to go here in quarter number 1. The Bulldogs on the road, leading 21-0 and looking out. We are seeing some rain again here tonight in Central PA.
1st and 10 on the 20 after the touchback off the boot of Brody Herr. Reebs him in the shotgun, single back behind him. See if they try to establish the ground game. They do. Nice pickup. 5-7. But you know what that play has more to do with the fact that the Bulldogs are like, they're not running. So now they have to say, we got to defend the run.
Number 22, Komet, with a nice carry there. Picked up 6 on the carry. That's our first rushing play of the ball game for the Wildcats.
So big pickup of 6 on 1st down, 2nd and 4 on the 26. Reebs him in the shotgun, 2 backs. He's going to hand it off. Big block up front, shoestring tackle. Shoestring tackle on the edge by Dathan Tyson, who came hot and heavy.
So Kate Dressler on that left side from the offensive lineman position are doing some nice jobs. So the Wildcat offensive line saying, hey, we don't run the football much, but when we do, we're going to pick up positive yards, 2 positive plays in a row.
Well, one thing I see is wide splits and just, execution. So that's what they're doing, widening the splits. In the gun. 3rd and 2, hands off immediately. Gets to the outside. Big pickup by number 22. Crosses the chains. That's a carry by number 22, Caden Komet.
So the Wildcats change up everything there. 3 consecutive rushing plays, pick up a big 1st down. This is against a Bulldog defense that is only out about 50 yards per game rushing for an entire ball game. So a good change of pace here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, big change of pace. They can throw, they can run, but they just don't do them all together, I guess. So we'll see if they mix it up with some play action now. They have established the ground game. 1st and 10. Play action, here it is. Screen. And big tackle. I'm telling you, that tackle isn't made. A lot of green grass ahead of him.
That might be a touchdown. That would be hard to catch him. Peyton Whitman, we've talked about that. He gives up a little bit in the height part of the size, but he's a pretty good tackler one-on-one and a real good one-on-one tackle there. Man, he only held that to a gain of about 2. Very impressive play.
Again, well coached. Love the execution. Trying to get into a rhythm here offensively. Established the ground game. They picked up 2 on that first down, but nearly broke that for big yards. In the gun. It's a low snap. It's fumbled. And we talk about the quickness of the 5-2 defense up front. When that ball hits the turf, it's tough sledding.
Brody Herr, Caden Walker, and boy, Caden played a great game last week against the Braves. Almost come up with the fumbled snap there for another turnover for the Bulldogs. We're trying again squeeze in a couple scores. Danville lost to Southern Columbia 40-17. Baldigo area goes to 4-0, 42-20 over Phillipsburg Osceola. Lime Mountain beats Susquehanna 27-21. And Bucktail, big score, 72-35, I think that was, over Sheffield.
In the gun. Left to right. Going to go up top. Right to the flats. Nice pitch and catch. So with the third down and long, excellent play call, but good defense by the Bulldogs. We'll see what happens here with Mifflinburg. That's a tough pass to make. That's a long throw to the flats.
It is a long throw. He made it pretty well, but with that third and long, tough to pick up there. Good tackle on that pass defense again by the Bulldogs. And I think the Wildcats are thinking they're going to let this one run out, Nate. So to be the last play of the first quarter, the Bulldogs are going to go into the break leading 21-0 over the Mifflinburg Wildcats. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School Bulldog football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
40 years serving the Jersey Shore area community. All Round Tire, your hometown service and tire sales center. Family owned and operated, All Round Tire features Cooper, many other tire brands, including Michelin and Firestone. Make us your first choice not only for passenger, light truck, farm, and ag tires, but also for service, brakes, exhaust belts, and hoses, and we offer the only vulcanized flat repairs in the area. PA State Inspection 2, open weekdays 8 till 5, Saturday till noon. All Round Tire, Cement Hollow Road, Jersey Shore.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
We're back on the air here, Mifflinburg. So if you're just tuning in, we just want to give a shout out to all those listening online. And again, Doug, for a lot of people, it's a new thing. Hey, you can watch high school football on YouTube. My daughter just texted me and said, I'm finally in. So she's watching. But thanks for tuning in. We thank you again for all of our sponsors tonight, the Wadsworth family, Joe's Equipment, just in the memory of Duke Fravel, longtime coach in Jersey Shore. So here we are, 21-0 to start the second quarter. Back to receive, Elijah Jordan, Dathan Tyson. High snap, fielded, left-footed kick. It's going to be short. Short, lands around the 40-yard line and goes the opposite direction, so the Wildcats not having their share of luck on that roll.
Kind of just wrap it up with the sponsors coming out of the break. Again, our new sponsor for Player of the Game, Mountaintop and Provisions, Donnie Breon Jr. Go see them in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley. Tremendous venue up there in the top of the mountain, and we really appreciate them coming on board as a Player of the Game sponsor for the rest of the year.
Yeah, excellent location to go and grab some barbecue and just sit around, listen to some live music. They got to change the scoreboard, I know that much, Doug. We still have 4th and 8 on the 43. So again, the Dogs not set. Procedure penalty with the motion. We are in the second quarter, 11:49 to go here. This is the first possession for the Bulldogs to start the second half. Ball turned over on downs. Loomis in the shotgun. Trips right. It's going to be the option. Good pitch relationship. Sechrist, he has a full head of steam down the sideline. Stiff arms a man, still running. And I'm telling you something. We talked about this pregame, Doug. When the Bulldogs get in the open field, it's like they're jetpack powered. They've got some speed.
Really good burst, but what's really impressive, when we talked about it earlier, that's a really good running of the option there by quarterback Jaron Loomis to get the pitch to Sechrist.
In the gun, Loomis to the flats immediately. Gets a block. Elijah Jordan gets a block. Samar, he cuts back. It's one of those nights. We talk about it. But, hey, that's the football. Listen, this field is beautiful. I mean, the grass is in great shape. Just wet. So Chains are trying to move and get up to the line. Trips right. Loomis in the gun. Single back is Sechrist. Again, the option. No answer for it. Nobody home. Sechrist, boom, lowers the shoulder. Down the sideline, in the end zone. Looks like a hold. So Coach Hale's in the background. I didn't know whether he was dancing with the stars or whether he was giving us a holding penalty, Doug.
I thought initially that Tate Seekers made the wrong read there. He should have made a cut inside, but boy, he bounced off that defender full head of speed. But that one is going to come back, so we're going to see that on both sides. So the touchdown pass called back with a holding penalty against the Wildcats. This one going to come back as well. Holding penalty, personal foul. What is that called? Targeting.
They call targeting on Seacrest. The loan is at.
Wow. Against a running back. I have never seen that called. So targeting, not a hold, against Tate Seacrest will nullify the touchdown run, and the Bulldogs will set up 1st and 20.
First down, right to left motion. It's the Seacrest, and he just lowers his shoulder again, gets a couple yards. We still don't know what the debate's all about. I'm really not sure what the penalty was. We've had several people comment here in the press box. It was, some say helmet to helmet, then they said a blindside block, but not sure. I'm going to go with Coach Hale. 2nd down and 17 on the 30. Loomis in the gun. Immediately to the flats. Samar gets a good block. Boy, Elijah Jordan, man, I tell you, everybody's complaining about the block. It's legal. It's football. It's physical.
Well, Elijah's really doing a nice job. You're kind of giving up some carries in the ball game and doing some blocking there for Peyton Samar.
Option keeps it. Loomis says, I'm going north and south. 6'3", 2 1/4 with a little bit of momentum. You got to get those legs and get in gear, but when they get moving, look at that.
That's a really super tough run there by Jaron Loomis, changing direction, using the power up the middle. Big first down, Bulldogs.
Big first down. Loomis in the gun, left to right. Elijah Jordan gets the jet sweep. He cuts it back all alone into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. We talk about the difference between being vanilla and being a two-headed monster. That motion, the option game that's really improved.
Super read there by Elijah Jordan because, again, so many running backs at the high school level, they're going to want to break outside. He saw that lane was in between his offensive linemen, Delaney and Owen Vandress, and, boy, touchdown, Jordan.
Oh, just a little bit short. You know, the surface tonight, the snap really never got down. It's a little bit off the normal. But Brody Herr misses one. That's okay. He's human. Doug, we got a shout out to Denny Thompson in the hill over there by the tennis courts where you enter. They're all watching tonight together. They couldn't make the trip down here, but they're watching. We just want to say, hey, thanks for all your support. Thanks for the positive, the comments. And it's always nice to be encouraged. We appreciate you.
Well, you know, when we talk with our station owner, Dave and Karen Stratton, and they talk about the number of people that tune into the ball games, and they kind of gauge that by not only do you tune into the game, but how long do you stay on the feed, and they go by, hey, you stay on for 15 minutes or you stay on for 30 minutes. We've had just a tremendously unbelievable amount of viewers at this high school level following this Jersey Shore Bulldog football team, average about 1,000 plus per game, and at the high school level, that is unheard of. So, again, thanks to all that tune in. Again, thanks to our sponsors for letting us come to you every week in, week out.
27-0, 10:07 second quarter. That's kick toward the sideline. Brody Herr nearly gets it to the touchback region, but out of bounds around the 5. So this is where Mifflinburg has the opportunity to take it at the 35 or ask the Dogs to re-kick.
A couple more out-of-town scoreboard updates, again, brought to you all season long by Ty Dot and Embroidery. So on Friday, Pottsville lost to Saucon Valley 21-9. Again, we give that score because anytime Pottsville wins, and you get some points for who they play as well, we want to make sure that that's noted. Warrior Run leads over Northwest area. That is tonight, 13-0. Pretty good Warrior Run team at 1-3. And then Selinsgrove now up 28-6 over the Braves of Shikellamy.
And a real quick thank you to Vince Swartz tonight on the camera, on the lens. We appreciate you as well, brother. In the gun, 21, Reepson, the sophomore. Twins left, motion left to right. Handoff immediately, number 26, and he's met by Bo Seacrest, number 5, along with Thompson, number 10.
Really nice job there by Thompson to hold it up, and Bo Seacrest is one of the top leaders in District 4, top tacklers. We saw Luke Snyder from Shikellamy, who leads District 4 in tackles coming into last week's ballgame. Bo Seacrest, game in, game out, he is getting better and better from that linebacker position.
He is. What an improvement. He's only a sophomore. Reeves him in the shotgun. 2nd and 14. They're going to go up top. Single man is Dressler. He sits down in the zone, slightly thrown to the outside. So not a very catchable football, but right idea.
One more correction on the score that I gave earlier. Bucktail goes to 4-1 over Sheffield. That final score was 74-42 for the Bucks of Bucktail, on their way to their best season in a long, long time up there in Farwell.
Yeah, the Bucks this year putting some wins in the win column, which is awesome to see from them. Reeves him in the shotgun. It's 3rd down and 14. Long sledding here. Going to go up top, and it's immediate to Dressler. Just overthrown. So good coverage that time by Snyder, number 13. But just one of those passes where not a lot of separation for Dressler.
Well, you got to look to Dressler, or Troop as your main guys. But Dressler's just a tremendous Division I athlete. Again, going to Wake Forest on a full baseball scholarship. You're going to look to him first. Not a great throw there by Reeves. I'm under a little bit of pressure by the Bulldog defense.
Return game, Elijah Jordan and Dathan Tyson really need to move up about 5 yards here. Off the left foot. This time airmailed. Elijah Jordan calls for the fair catch. So, the good news there is it doesn't hit the turf, it doesn't roll out, but that was a very, very nice punt off the boot of number 50, Mason Schneck.
And what's interesting, coming off that left foot, it's a whole different look for those returners. Ball spinning the wrong way, kind of curves a different way, so Elijah took the safe way out. Nice fair catch there, good field position for the Bulldogs.
1st and 10 on the 31, in the gun. Immediately to the flats again. Elijah Jordan, he's got a lot of room here, makes a cutback. Good. Oh, makes a cutback, makes a man miss, and gets a first down. So good yards after the catch. That turf is slick. Defenders slipping on that play, but Elijah Jordan finishes it to the first down.
Good job there by Elijah Jordan to not try and make the move too quick, get his feet underneath him, add a couple yards to the end of that catch.
In the gun, looks like a jet sweep to Elijah Jordan. It's a handoff immediately. Gets a block by Brody Herr. That's Tate Sechrist. Good containment. We talk about the outside edge all the time. Well schemed up by the defense of the Mifflinburg Wildcats to limit Jordan.
Their first tackle for a loss in the ballgame.
Yes. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 in the gun. They're going to do it in the option. It's pitched. It's fumbled. Picked up, though. Sechrist down the sideline, 50, 45, 40. Continues down the sideline, 30. He is just, at times, a man among boys. I hate to say it, Doug. That's no disrespect to anybody, but when he gets north and south and lowers that shoulder, the train's coming.
A tremendous burst of speed, but a really good job with the hands to pick up a tough fumble on the roll there, Tate Sechrist.
1st and 10, 28-yard line. Loomis rolls right. Play's going to be blown dead. So, procedure motion penalty on the Bulldogs. That tends to happen, and I hope they can clean some of those little things up. I know it's not – you don't think about it as a big deal in a game where you're up 27-0 with 8.5 to go, but when you start to play tougher competition towards the end of the season, you really want to nip that in the bud. In the gun, Loomis, single back to his right.
So 2 in a row there. That's going against the center. They're saying they moved the football, picked up the football or something like that. Readjusted that on that. And you're right, Nate, about the procedure penalty. So you're giving up 10 yards there. You just want to take that extra second, make sure everything's set, and then go.
1st and 20. Loomis going to roll right, sit down in the zone. It's a scoop and go. Dathan Tyson wide open, just airmailed. I'll tell you what. Loomis looked like he didn't even throw that football. I mean, it was effortless.
Jaron Loomis becoming more comfortable. So even though that's an incompletion, you want to be impressed because we've talked all season long, the ability to go down the field will become important.
2nd and 20. They're going to run the option again. Tate Sechrist, they haven't had an answer for this. Down the sideline, lowers his shoulder. They go low on him. He picks up about 9, maybe 10 yards. So that option has been very difficult to defend for the Wildcats.
Well, I'd be surprised if you're not in 4-down territory here, even though it could be 4th and long. Send them 3rd and about 12 here for the Bulldogs.
You run it this way now. So Loomis in the gun. Pass to Samar. Gets a block. Samar down the sideline. Stiff arms a man. Out of bounds. So that's going to be a first down. Signaling, move the chains. So that play has been very, very effective for the Bulldogs. All set up by the Elijah Jordan block. If you don't get the block, you don't get the yards.
Tremendous job there by Elijah Jordan. They've run that play 3 or 4 times, all positive yardage.
Loomis in the gun. Jet sweep. It's handed off to Elijah. Cuts it back again. So they pinched as much as they could from the defensive end and tackle position, limited the pickup to maybe 2 or 3.
Good recovery there by Griffith, number 1, the defender for the Wildcats, to kind of fold that down inside, make a nice tackle.
Brody Herr into the game at tailback. It's the Brody Herr up the middle. Brody Herr lowers a shoulder, drags a man, maybe for 1 or 2. Good tackle on the play, though. Slow to get up.
Nice to see Brody Herr get some carries here in the first half. I think he can be a very effective guy, kind of a change of pace guy for this Bulldog rushing game.
So 3rd down and 5 in the gun. Loomis hands off again. That's Brody Herr. He makes a cut, but he can't keep his feet. Good hit. Good stick on the play by number 16, Brian Reeder.
Good read there by Brody Herr. You know, we talked about his learning the game of football, really haven't played it that long, but boy, he saw the open hole there, saw where he should have gone. Going to try the field goal here for Brody Herr. We talked about that last week. Get in position pretty much in the middle of the field, give Brody Herr a chance to see if he can kick this one through.
Hey, and 3 is important, especially when you talk about close contests. Snap is back, hold is down, it's pure. Kick is up, it's short, but it's good. And they motion it good. Hey, and you know what? The aesthetics of a kick like that don't matter. It's 3 points.
What's interesting is he started a little early, did Brody Herr. Kind of took a quarter of a step a little bit early, but still has the ability to kind of slow it down and use that big, powerful leg to boot that one through. His first career field goal for Brody Herr really is becoming an effective kicker. Kickoffs, punts, and now field goal to the resume of Brody Herr. And again, our kickoff coming up, brought to you all season long by Joe's Equipment. Go see Erin and her crew steal sales, parts, service, all the things you need for your outdoor needs. Still time to do those this fall. Go see the folks on Cement Drive, Jersey Shore. Joe's Equipment, our kickoff sponsor this season.
And it's good to see Brody healthy. He had a night this week where he and Samar had a little head-to-head and had a little bit of an ice pack on the back. So having his leg, you know, is crucial, and especially after a year coming off the national leadership board that Breck Miller had. What a tremendous career he had. So Brody Herr kicking off here. 30-0 is the score. 6:17 to go. That's high, and that's a nice kick. It's going to be down inside the 10. Caught at the 5-yard line by number 31 and hit out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. That's the kind of kick that pay big dividends for your defense.
Really does. Nice tackle there on the coverage by Peyton Samar. Been a real stalwart with the kicking coverage game. Not only this year, but last as well. 6:12 to go here, second quarter. The Bulldogs have stretched out that lead with a nice Brody Herr field goal, 30-0 over the Mifflinburg Wildcats.
So the Dogs, like you talked about, you know, coming out tonight, Mifflinburg's done some things through the air. They've got a few, you know, first downs tonight and did some things on the ground as well. So let's see what they come out to do as far as their chemistry and what they try to do here to be a little more balanced. 1st and 10 on the 20. In the gun. Reevesham going to look up top immediately on the skinny post. Nice pitch and catch. Now that's what we talk about. What I like about that route, Doug, is not only is it a catchable football, but his back shields the defender.
Really, really nice job there by Dressler. You can see why he's a Division I athlete. Use that body to shield Snyder, who was in pretty good coverage away, and then goes up, high points that football for a nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
You know, that's a high percentage, you know, completion ratio, even with decent coverage, because Dressler is a big-bodied, 6'4", 205-pound receiver. Twins right in the gun. 1st and 10. Going to go up top, over the middle. Good coverage. You know, Dressler was all alone, but, you know, there were 3 linebackers that dropped. Sorry, 2 linebackers that dropped, along with the entire secondary at Jersey Shore.
And what's interesting is that Mifflinburg has really become Troy Dressler dependent. They're only looking to one person, Troy Dressler, on those pass patterns. Where in that first quarter they started to mix Troop in, obviously the big guy, 6'7", and then Gradowski as well. But second quarter they have gone almost exclusively to Dressler on the pass attempts.
If you're just tuning in tonight, 5:53 to go in the second quarter. 30-0 is the score. Wildcats 2 timeouts left, Jersey Shore 3. It's 2nd and 10 on the 38. In the gun is Cole Reevesham, the sophomore. Twins left. Snap is back, immediately looks to, it's going to be a screen, and blocked and batted down. in on that play were Thompson, Tate Sechrist, Walker, and at number 56, I believe that is Slate Sechrist as well. So it was a full house backfield. They were trying to get that screen off again.
Good reaction there by all of the players. Not sure if Tate or Slate knocked that one down, but just good anticipation of where's that ball going to go. Get up, make the play, knock that one down. Almost came out with another interception. Already 3 in the ball game for this Bulldog defense.
Yeah, and Caden Walker had just an electric game last week. You know, he's really settled into that nose guard position in this 5-2, a crucial spot. In the gun, it's 3rd and 10 at the 38. They're going to look up to Dressler's side. No, they're going to go deep to Troop. It's a jump ball. Hits a jump ball, and Snyder and Tyson came early to the party and couldn't figure out who wanted to pick that one off, Doug.
And that's a tough one. In baseball, you would say somebody call it, but in football, you don't really do that. You just react to the football and go up and get it. So the Bulldogs kind of knock each other off of that one, which would have been their 4th INT of the ball game. And the Wildcats are really kind of in a rut there, now going to Dressler on almost every pass play.
Paul Hale back to receive off the left foot, number 50. It's going to be short. Paul Hale's going to roll around to it. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it. See, that's what I like. You know, I saw a little bit of peacock in that of, he didn't say I'm not. But if that ball would have come up into the breadbasket and he catches that on the run, everybody quits on the play. You never know.
Yeah, it was a good read by him. Kind of tough that it didn't stay in the air just a little longer to give him a chance to make a clean catch on that.
So Loomis all alone. He's lonely back there in the shotgun right now. Sechrist in the short slot. They're going to go over the middle. No, Elijah Jordan catches it up the middle. Good run. I'll tell you, we talk about this a lot. Elijah's really shifty.
Oh, I mean, he's tough. You get him in open space, he is hard to bring down. Came into the game with 7 catches for 106, adding to that tonight.
2nd and 2. In the gun, Loomis all alone. Goes to the flats, wide open, nobody there. Breaks away, it's Whitman. Down the sideline. Oh, drags a man down around the 20-yard line, but there was nobody out there to cover him.
I think that Peyton Whitman's first catch of the season, and boy, he breaks for a long one. Almost took that to a touchdown saving tackle by number 5, the defensive back there, Moser for the Wildcats. Nice pitch and catch. Loomis to Peyton Whitman.
Well, Whitman had the pick 6 in the beautiful run, and here he gets a nice completion and big yards after the catch. 1st and 10 on the 25. Loomis to the flats. Elijah Jordan, nobody home. Down the sideline, 10. It's going to call a hold. Cuts it back. Reaches across, down towards the 5. But this time they got a little handsy on the edge. Good block, but you got to let the shirt alone.
Yeah, I thought he was engaged there, but then I kind of thought he let go enough to not have a hold call. But that one's going to come back. Well, you can see the change here by Coach Gravis and his coaching staff saying, hey, We've run. We've kind of been stuffed a little bit on the runs at times, but we've done almost all of this on the ground. Now we're going to work on our passing game a little bit, up 30-0 with 4:52 to go, and that's what you need to do. You get a chance to work on some things. Game situations really will pay dividends as the season goes on.
And that's one thing I talked about. You know, every team has a unique dynamic, but this team is effective through the air as well. To the flats it goes again. It's Whitman, or is that Tyson? We'll see. No, that's Dathan Tyson. Sitting down, getting a few yards after the catch. But when we talk about balance, we talk about a team that when you can distribute the ball to 3 or 4 receivers at a clip, you're tough to defend.
Well, that's what we wanted all season long. Who else is going to step up in the passing game?
Comes another penalty. Nope, timeout. So timeout, Mifflinburg. Again, 4:20 to go here in the second quarter. 30-0 is the score. The Wildcats had put a touchdown on the board earlier tonight to Dressler in the skinny post, called back by a holding penalty. Immediately turned around. Jersey Shore came back down, a pick 6, and scored. So it's been an exciting night tonight. And do you have any out-of-town scores for us, Doug?
Yep, want to give a quick update here. Out-of-town scoreboard again brought to you by Tie Dot and Embroidery. Selinsgrove, as expected, but boys second quarter, 41-6 over the Braves. Kowaniski Valley, 6-0 over Sayre. Sayre comes in without a win. Warrior Run, 13-0 over Northwest Area. Again, thanks to Sean Hale for not only helping us with the scoring drives and some stats, but giving us those out-of-town scoreboards. Again, shout out to our sponsors, Steve and Alicia Wadsworth from Lock Haven, being a patron sponsor all season long. Tie Dot and Embroidery and Joe's Equipment for our out-of-town scoreboard, and our kickoff sponsor, And then coming on board this week, our player of the game, Mountaintop and Provisions, Donnie Breon Jr., up there in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley. Go up and see him, our player of the game sponsor throughout the year.
Loomis in the gun. Hands off immediately. Sechrist, he fumbles. On it, near the first down, is a lineman. Let's get a number. He's going to now be in the contest for player of the game, Doug. Let's see who that is.
I think that might have been Slate Sechrist.
That is.
Yep. Did a really nice job recognizing that ball was free and loose for the recovery, setting up 3rd and short.
3rd and 3, Loomis in the gun. Immediately thrown to Samar. Samar makes a man miss. That's trouble, and he slips and slides down. They're going to move the chains, but wow.
It's interesting that Mifflinburg, they made some nice adjustments in their defense, but they have not adjusted there. And I don't know really what you do there. One-on-one, you're getting that initial block just enough to free that receiver. Boy, Peyton Samar and Elijah Jordan almost coming up with a couple long touchdowns there.
1st and 10, Loomis in the gun. Left to right goes Thompson. Thompson gets the fake. No, it's the counter. Off the fake. Tate Sechrist fumbles again. He's on the football. Somebody better get him a towel. Down inside to 5. That's not like Tate Sechrist.
He was chasing that.
I know he was.
Kind of fumbled it. Boy, he's right on it. Saying, man, I got to get that thing back. And he does for about a 5-yard gain, setting up the Bulldogs here. 2nd and goal from about the 2.
You know, one thing I want to talk about Loomis really quick is just how he really handles this offensive team as a quarterback. It's going to be the option. Sechrist gets it. Nobody home. Stiff arms a man, and he just trots into the end zone. So not the prettiest of drive with 2 balls that landed on the turf, but Slate Sechrist picks up the fumble. Tate Sechrist fumbles again, picks his own fumble up, and then he's into the end zone on the option.
You know, you don't want any fumbles, but you don't mind the fumbles as much as if you can get on them and then turn succeeding plays into some positive yardage. The Bulldogs did there, add to the score.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is just absolutely crushed. So he took driver off the tee there, Doug. So, you know, let's talk really quick. I think for me that if someone were to say to me, defense 5-2 has always been just very, very effective. Alex Jackson will figure out from now till next Friday night 25 ways to lose a football game. He is so obsessively detailed with the 5-2 scheme. But offensively, I don't know if I've ever seen a team be as balanced, potentially, with the potential to be as balanced as we are this year.
When you talk about the defense, Bo Sechrist leads the way with 40 tackles, and that's individual tackles and assists. Samar is second with 32 tackles for loss, 3 of those. Tate Sechrist, total tackles 23, but he has 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 18 hurries coming into the ballgame. But what's really impressive, talking about that balance, is 24 different players registered tackles thus far in the season for the Bulldog defense. So, one, you're getting players in there. Everybody that's in there is contributing, bringing that opposing team offense to a halt.
Brody Hur, it's short, but it's high. It's going to almost hit the turf, but picked up the middle. Group tackle, gang tackled on that play.
The kickoff goes to James Donlin. Donlin brings the ball out.
So that's the first time I've seen in a long time Tom Gravish had substituted on the special teams.
Yeah, Luke Ryan in there, number 7. A couple of players, again, shuffling in. Again, you're up 37-0 in the second quarter, 3:25 to go here before the break. Doing a nice job of getting some fresh legs in the ballgame.
So twins left, twins right. When I say twins, that simply means 2, obviously. In the gun, number 21, Cole Reebson. Single back. He's going to look to the flats immediately. Oh, and nearly picked off. I'm telling you, Samar would have had another one.
Really good read there by Samar. I tell you, he's really, I don't know if he's a real instinctive linebacker like Bo Sechrist and Hayden Packer, but boy, he is becoming great in that pass defense game.
Beautiful coverage. 2nd and 10 in the gun. Reebson. They're going to run this play clock down a little bit. Twins left, twins right. 2nd and 10 on the 35. Snap is back. Going to look to the right. Grodzki catches the football. Very short gain, but nonetheless a gain. So it's going to bring up about 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats.
Tip there. I think that was Tate Sechrist. Not sure. It could have been Thompson as well from the other side. But a good reception there by the Mifflinburg receiver on the play.
3rd and 7 on the 38. We're in the second quarter with 2:56 to go. Offense looking to the sideline. Reeves him in the shotgun. The sophomore quarterback. Snap is back. Looks to the right. It's skipped. So they're going to call that the skip, and no catch on that. Just slightly underthrown.
Intended for Grodowski. Again, good pressure from that left defensive end position. Tate Seekers almost got a handle on that one, but forced the errant throw.
You know, Mifflinburg at times tonight really seemed like they had moments where they planned, they made changes, they stopped the counter, had some success through the air. I think they had 3 consecutive first downs, but the Dogs answered back, and they've answered back in a big fashion, up 37-0. Paul Hale back to receive as well. He's going to get this one. Makes the catch, makes a man miss. Nope. Good tackle. Credit to number 1, Jackson Griffith. But what I like is catch the football and have an attempt at a return.
Good punt there by the punter of the Wildcats. Really good special teams tackle there by Griffin. But you're right, Nate. Oh, so important for your deep men in punts and kickoffs. Field the football cleanly. Give yourself an opportunity to make a big play. Set up your offense again here. 2:34 to go, second quarter.
I'm surprised we're not in the continuous clock. So
can't take place till the second half.
My bad. So there we go. I missed that on the exam. Fumble.
Fumble on the play.
Do we own a towel?
Yeah, so the football, as the game goes on, does get slicker and slicker. There's no question about it. But the officials do give you a chance. But, out of that fast car, Nate, you got to wonder, do they really have a chance to even towel it down? They probably don't.
They don't. Loss of 1 on the fumble. 2nd and 11. 2 backs under center. It's going to be the quick pitch left to Elijah Jordan. Gets a block by Seacrest. Makes a man miss down the sideline. Hits it into overgear. Number 130, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's dancing. Unbelievable. I really thought he would be tackled short of the first down.
Tremendous open field block, but what a good read there, and very impressive open field speed there by Elijah Jordan. He goes 61 yards from the Bulldog 29 all the way for the score. So the Bulldogs now 43 points on the scoreboard. We do have a Mifflinburg player down on the field getting some attention by the trainers.
That was a conservative play call. It just ends up with an absolutely astounding run. I mean, he got a block initially by Seacrest up front, which sprung him to about 5 yards, but he made 1 or 2 cuts there that were razor sharp, and he was just off to the races.
Really a super job there by Elijah Jordan. We talked about it earlier in the ball game. He came into the ball game, Elijah Jordan, 62 carries for 419, a 6.76 average, along a 60, so he clips that on that drive, 4 TDs. He's added at least 1 tonight. That would be his second one, I do believe. So both Jordan and Tate Seacrest not only adding to their season totals, both probably well over 500 yards here already tonight, but adding to that average rush per game in the ball game. Troop coming off, kind of looked like one of those, Nate, you could tell everything was moving and all of that, but he might have got one right there in the mid part of the body. He's coming off under his own power, but a little gingerly for sure.
It's good to see him come off under his own strength, though. He's such a great athlete and a fine young man. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is up. It's good. Brody Hurst seeing a lot of action each and every week with that right foot. He's going to have to ice that down tonight. We talk about, I do want to give a shout out here really quick, though, too. Just so impressed with the long snapping game as well from Mason Larson tonight, number 69. He's only a sophomore, 6 foot 215, but that's a lot of responsibility when you talk about a wet field conditions. We've seen 3 fumbles in the last couple minutes, but to get that snap back, to get that hold down and that kick off, kicker's only as good as those first 2 line of defense.
When your center and snappers are doing something well, when you don't talk about them, they're not mishandling the football.
Exactly.
There's been no muffs on the center quarterback exchange. So if you don't talk about him, he's doing a good job, and only as a sophomore, Larson really doing a good job. And that lineup for guys again, Owen Vandruff, Delaney, Dahmer, Seacrest, and Larson. What a great unit here tonight. 44 points on the board here in the second quarter.
Brody Hurd a kickoff. This one's a little shorter. It's going to hit the turf, and it's going to roll, but picked up immediately by 31. Nice cut back up the middle. Out over the 35-yard line. So, oh, no. Yeah. So anyway, injury for the moment, but let's talk a little bit more about, the underclass development of so many key players. Even tonight, Snyder's getting some reps. Paul Hale's been in on the return game. Paul Hale saw a lot of reps this week at quarterback because Loomis had what was classified as a hip pointer, but then some ankle issues with that. So there's so many kids that get reps, and it's impressive. And so I think right now what we hope and you anticipate is, again, kids can stay healthy. Mifflinburg has just been so banged up this year, and hats off to Coach Dressler and his kids, but it is really difficult when you're not playing with a full deck.
Well, your roster is fairly limited in numbers anyway, maybe low 30s, and you have your starting quarterback in Chad Martin, who, listen to this stat, he threw for over 500 yards in the first 2 games of the season. At any level, that's impressive. At the high school level, that is unbelievably impressive. But then he goes down with something with his foot. But Coach Hale did mention he talked to Coach Dressler. He's hoped to come back in a couple of weeks, so whatever the issue was, whether it's a break or not, they have a chance to bring him back. But Reefsham's done a great job. But you can't lose players, and hopefully this young man will be able to come off under his own power and get back on his speed. But a big hit there on the kickoff to force the injury.
Yeah, and we talk about this when you dress 22 kids tonight, and it takes 11 guys on either side of the football. You're moving kids around. So that's good to see. Number 31 coming off the field, Landon Murray, under his own strength with the training staff. And
only a sophomore. Murray's been involved in a number of plays here tonight. So walking okay. So, again, probably not a lower body injury there, but the trainer going to take a look at Murray. Probably one of those ball games where he doesn't come back in. I mean, you're down big on the scoreboard. Give yourself a chance. But he looks good as he's sitting on the bench here, kind of regrouping on the sidelines.
So Preston Beatty in at right defensive end. Tate Sechrist still in at left end. Brody Herr, Walker, and Slate Sechrist on the line. Sechrist and Samar at linebacker. Handoff immediately to number 22. Met Preston Beatty. Nope, that's Dathan Tyson. So Dathan Tyson read that quickly and got very, 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 very fast into the backfield.
Really solid on run support is Dathan Tyson. You mentioned Preston Beatty. Great to see him getting in that circulation at one of the defensive end positions. It works so hard to have a chance to get varsity snaps. And he's doing a nice job there. Held up the offensive blocker to give Dathan Tyson a chance to make the tackle.
So a loss of 3 on that first play. That handoff was to Caden Knapp. In the gun, 2 backs, receivers to the left. They're going to let the clock run down. 32-yard line. Handoff immediately. Sidesteps a guy, but there's Caden Walker in the backfield making a sure tackle.
Caden Walker, very, very impressive. First-year starter as a junior, really has a nice physical size, but what you're seeing is that good instinctive movement from that nose guard position out of the 5-2, really becoming a factor for this Bulldog defense.
And I was told, at the younger level, here's a kid that developed sort of quickly. He was a running back. They said, you're not going to run the football. Can you help us out at the line? But he's so athletic, and you can see that burst from the nose guard position. 3rd and 17. Snap is back. Handoffs immediately off the right side. And it looks like, Doug, this is going to get us to halftime. And but a great half for the Bulldogs. 44-0 is a score on the scoreboard. We're going to pause for this commercial. We'll be back after this with some halftime stats, some out-of-town scores. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
It's time for an insurance review. Every now and then, you need to know you're getting the best coverage at the best price. So here's a phone number, 570-865-5191. State Farm agent Jason Eberhardt will give you an overview and make recommendations on how you can protect yourself and your family. Auto, home, life, health, property, or business, it's Eberhardt State Farm. Available online at insurejerseyshore.com. Eberhard State Farm in their new offices, 600 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. 570-865-5191.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 5 GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Everything costs more, and lots of us are worried about how much we'll spend this coming winter to heat our homes. Make sure to call Hollick's Coal & Oil in Jersey Shore. 570-398-1190, providing stove, nut, pea, buckwheat, and rice coal, heating oil, outside mix kerosene, and off-road diesel. A fixture in the Jersey Shore community for the last 72 years. Hollick's Coal & Oil, ready to keep you warm this winter. 570-398-1190, online at hollickscoalonoil.com.
Muncie Bank and Trust is proud of its long history of guiding families and business owners on their financial journey. When it comes to serving our communities, we know that trust, integrity, and reliability are what you've come to expect from Muncie Bank and Trust. So whether you're a family looking to purchase a place to call home or a business owner seeking the capital to grow, your journey to making those dreams a reality starts at Muncie Bank. Learn more at munciebank.com. FDIC insured, equal housing lender.
Life moves pretty fast, and so does technology. So we should be proud that after over 40 years, Reese's Print Shop in Lock Haven still provides excellent work for everyone in Bear Country. So many other print shops have closed their doors, but Randy Reese still offers digital and offset printing at competitive prices, and they're fast. Reese's Print Shop, 7 East Main Street, Lock Haven. Stop in, email randy@reesesprintshop.com or call 570-748-6528. Reese's Print Shop. See what we can do for you or your company.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike.
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Bear Country.
Every piece of land has a story. For the Nelsons, it's cruising around their Montana ranch on a John Deere Gator XUV 835R. With 3,000 acres, there's plenty of work to do.
We're not afraid to jump in and help each other out.
That's how they've kept their ranch going for 5 generations.
It's all about efficiency.
Like teaching visitors to fly fish.
The whole joy with fly fishing is matching the hatch.
Run with us on a Gator XUV 835R and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
There's still an Agway in your local area. X-Agway in Jersey Shore. They have been supplying the community for years. X-Agway, everything you'll need to win the seasonal fight, whether it's fertilizer and lime for lawn and garden season or rock salt and ice melt for the winter weather. Right now, it's time to set your food plots and grab wood pellets from X-Agway. 112 Harris Street, Jersey Shore, X-Agway, local people taking care of local people. 570-398-2770.
If you want to sell a house or buy a house, make it Anchor Realty in Lock Haven. Dave Winkleman and his team are ready to help you. Dave's a Jersey Shore graduate. He's ready to help fellow Bulldogs get the deal they want. He's motivated to market your home and find you a new one. 570-858-0777 for Dave Winkleman and the team at Anchor Realty. Ask Dave how he can guarantee your home will sell within 90 days. 57 Belfont Avenue, Lock Haven. Anchor Realty, ready to serve you. 570-858-0777.
Need insurance? See Fager Insurance. Fager Insurance at 511 East Church Street in Lock Haven is an independent agency representing Erie Insurance. Fager Insurance works for you to get the best coverage at the best possible price with superior service. You are the person that counts. If you have a loss or claim, Fager Insurance will be there to guide you through the process. Fager Insurance offers auto, home, flood, business, and life insurance. Since 1964, Clinton County residents have trusted Fager Insurance at 511 East Church Street, Lock Haven. You should too. Fager Insurance.
This week's Jersey Shore playoff game sponsored by Mealy Manufacturing, makers of the Pennsylvania skill games you find everywhere. Powered by Pace-O-Matic and manufactured in Muncie, Mealy Manufacturing, the skill game industry leaders. Their games provide legal entertainment to players and the opportunity to use their skills and strategies to win every time. Vastly different than gambling or casino-style games, skill games require players to think and take action to win. Mealy Manufacturing, supporting the community and employing local workers. 800-338-8401.
A proud supporter of the Jersey Shore Bulldogs, TLC Fuels is a family-owned local business. Established in 1998, TLC Fuels serves residential, farm, and commercial customers from their Jersey Shore location just off of Route 220 at the Pine Creek exit. From fuel oil to diesel fuel and gasoline, TLC Fuels has thrived on a consistent dedication to you and your family. Call 570-753-5722 today.
Bear Country 99.9 FM.
Doug Byerly, Nate Carpenter back at Mifflinburg High School. The Jersey Shore Bulldog marching band performing right in front of us here at the home press box of the Wildcats. At the break, Jersey Shore 44, the Mifflinburg Wildcats 0. So obviously the Bulldogs have been extremely productive on the offensive side, but what's really been impressive is the defensive side. Nathan Tyson leads the way, 4 individual tackles, but what has been super impressive in that first quarter, where last week the Bulldogs had 4 INTs, tonight they add 3 more, one by Snyder, then by Bo Sechrist, and then the capper, so to speak, on the interception side, Peyton Whitman, 18 yards with a great return to put the Bulldog defense on the board for the second game in a row. So the Bulldog offense has been productive, but the Bulldog defense has been very productive as well with those 3 INTs in the first half. On the offensive side, the rushing game really led the way. Tate Sechrist, man, just started out the ball game, kind of shot out of a cannon. He ends up with 17 carries for 221 yards and 3 TDs here in quarter number 1 and quarter number 2. Elijah Jordan, not so bad either, 7 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown through the air. Jaron Loomis, 4 for 11, 75 yards, does have an INT as well. Jersey Shore ran 38 plays to 31 for the Wildcats at Mifflinburg. The Bulldogs held the ball for 10-41. In the first half, Mifflinburg ended up holding the ball for 13-19. But it has been all Bulldogs early and often. And how did we get there? And again, compliments to Coach Sean Hale for giving us the scoring drives all throughout this season. Jersey Shore in that first drive, 29-yard rush, and it ended up being a 1-yard rush by Tate Sechrist after a really long run to set that all up. Really only a couple of ticks into the ball game, about 40 seconds or so in the Bulldogs after the PAT was good. After a Mifflinburg punt, the Bulldogs added one on as well. Tate Sechrist, his second touchdown of the night. Again, the kick was good, and the Bulldogs led 14-0. A couple back and forth, couple punts along the way, and then the Bulldogs again got underway on the offensive side. That interception by Peyton Whitman that we talked about just a minute ago, pick 6. Coach has it down at 26 yards, and I'm going to take it. I think I said 18. The extra point for her, third in a row, was good, and the Bulldogs stretched that lead in the first quarter, still with 3:42 remaining, to 21-0. And then at the beginning of the second quarter, right as we turned it over, 9-yard run by Elijah Jordan. The extra point was no good, and the Bulldogs stretched it out to 27-0. But the scoring was not over, and Brody Herr kind of got back on track after the missed PAT. His first field goal attempt and first good field goal of the year, 23 yards, and the Bulldogs at the 9:14 mark stretched that lead to 30-0. But they weren't done. 2 more scores on the board. Tate Sechrist added an 8-yard touchdown run. PAT was good by Brody Herr, 37-0 Bulldogs. And then right before the break, Elijah Jordan on a tremendous run. Great block by Sechrist to spring him 61 yards on the rush. PAT was again good by Brody Herr. And that wraps it up here in the first half. The Bulldogs 44, the Mifflinburg Wildcats 0. At the break, coming to you from Mifflinburg in Union County. And we want to give a shout out to our sponsors all season long. Steve and Alicia Wadsworth from Lock Haven for being a patron sponsor all season long of the Bulldog football team and our video and audio broadcast. Joe's Equipment for the kickoffs all season long. Go see the folks on Cement Drive in Jersey Shore, Aaron and her crew, for all your steel product needs. Give them a call, see what they can do for you. Tie Dot and Embroidery for the out-of-town scoreboard. And we do have a couple updates. So at the break, Selinsgrove all over the Braids of Shikellamy 41-6. Kawaneski Valley leads Sayre 6-0. Warrior Run trying to improve their record to 2-1, 26-0 over Northwest and the Rangers, so that it looks like they will do. And then from the college ranks, two great games, Notre Dame and Ohio State, that people will pay attention to in the second quarter. No score, a little bit surprised there, not that it's tied up, but that no score in the ballgame. And Penn State leads an always tough Iowa team led by Kirk Ferenz, 3-0 as that ballgame gets underway in Happy Valley. So, Nate, wow. Tate Sechrist, 7 carries, 221, and 3 touchdowns in the first and second quarter tonight. What a great start for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I went out for my second French fry of the night. It's high school football, man. It's Saturday night. I got to get some calories in. And that vinegar, that salt, delicious. But I saw Massey on the way back up. He said, they have almost 500 yards of offense. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you guys get time of possession?
We did. Your dad sent it to us. Again, we want to give shout-out Coach Chris Davis for the bulk of the stats, but Jim Carpenter does the time of possessions and number of plays, and we really think that adds to the broadcast. So kudos to all of them. Chris Massey always gives us whatever we need from the Sun-Gazette. Make sure you read his articles. He has done such a great job for so many years for the Williamsport Sun-Gazette. Again, I forgot, Nate, to mention one sponsor again. We'll talk about it more here in the second half. Coming on board, Mountaintop and Provisions, Donnie Breon Jr. Really want to give a shout-out to him coming on for our Player of the Game sponsor for the rest of the regular season and all of the playoffs. Go see Donnie and his staff at that great venue in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley, our Player of the Game sponsor for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I've had a couple of meals up there. Fantastic food. His wife actually was a Lejeune Chef grad, Penn College grad, so they know something about cooking. And it's worth the trip, so get up there. Thanks again to all the sponsors this year. We couldn't do it without you. That's why we're even able to bring this game via the TV, live stream, YouTube channel tonight, because the sponsorship was just through the roof this year, and we are grateful. So our attitude of gratitude extends all over our community this year, and it was very timely as well with the circumstance over the last several weeks, just everybody coming together. We want to just again say thank you. So we're going to pause for commercial, get back to the network. We'll be back right after this with the second half of Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Always supporting the Jersey Shore Bulldogs, it's the Twilight Diner in Loganton, open 7 days and featuring a full menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and daily specials. So good, people ask for their food by name, and they bring that great taste on the road with the Twilight Diner on wheels. And now at this area's newest venue for weddings, reunions, and gatherings, Miller's Barn in Tylersville. Hold your next event in the middle of Amish country. Twilight Diner, 603 North Mill Street, Loganton, 570-725-3911 for takeout.
Your local area insurance agency is McMahon, Ferguson & Associates. They handle your home, auto, commercial, and life insurance needs. Let's talk life insurance. If something happened to you, would your family be prepared? Let McMahon, Ferguson & Associates craft the perfect Erie life insurance policy for you. Call 570-398-4090 or visit 1020 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. Your local Erie insurance agency is McMahon, Ferguson & Associates.
For a great time, make it Baldbird's Brewing Company in Jersey Shore. Enjoy 24 different beers in the family-friendly tap room where pets are welcome too, and a full selection of local spirits, wines, and specialty cocktails. Don't miss our weekly family game night and trivia night. Baldbird's Brewing Company offers event space for meetings, weddings, and private and semi-private party spaces. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Baldbird's Brewing Company, Schaefer Lane, Jersey Shore. Online at baldbirdsbrewing.com.
It seems like there's an automotive parts store on every corner, and they all probably have the part or product you need. But do they know what you need? And do they know they have it? For automotive parts and knowledge, come to the automotive parts store that has automotive experience, Napa Auto Parts. The staff at Napa Auto Parts has the experience to answer your questions and make sure you get what you need. Napa Auto Parts, Hogan Boulevard, Mill Hall, and Bridge Street, Jersey Shore. Napa Auto Parts, Central PA's trusted source for automotive parts and knowledge for generations.
Fredham Disposal has proudly served the community with residential and commercial trash removal for the last 55 years. They're a family-owned company that cares about the environment and their customers, providing extensive trash removal and recycling options. Their fleet of trucks provide reliable pickup service, and they give you a chance to pay your bill online. Fred Ham Disposal. Here for you. Call 57039818114. Fred Ham Disposal.
We have moved. Alexander Kia is offering the same great deals on new and used Kias at our new location on Broad Street in Montoursville. Come see Doug Hilliard and the great selection of 2024 Kias, the Telluride, Seltos, and the amazing all-new Kia EV9. SUV capability, EV power. Take advantage of all the extras available at Alexander Kia, including free state inspection and car washes with every service appointment. Alexander Kia, Broad Street, Montoursville, online, alexanderkia.com.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
We're back. Second half about to be underway. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And just a quick shout out. Thanks, TJ, for letting us know and reminding me to mention this on the air. We love to see our kids well-rounded. Obviously, it's academics first. Just to ask Tom Gravish, his philosophy is I'm raising young men for the future. This isn't just about football. So classroom first, but then it's the things you get involved with. Number 66, Gage Watkins, 6 foot 220, also plays in the band, and impressive, to be involved. We've seen that over the years. Lewisburg, several teams have football players who also cross over and do band. So he's out here while the team's in the locker room, but they've just come out. 2 minutes to go here. They're going to give him some time to stretch out and acclimate. Beautiful night tonight. The weather's perfect. The rain has subsided. And as we said, I'd come back from – I apologize. I took a break and I went outside and I just all of a sudden experienced smell-o-vision. It came my way via those French fries with vinegar. But they're delicious. Vince is working on the back half of those right now. But, again, it's been a great night for football. In the second half, injury-free for both teams is the goal. And to get as many young people in the mix. Tom said last week the highlight of his week was Shikellamy after such a difficult week, challenging week emotionally for the team with Max Engel's passing. And, again, we want to just say tonight our thoughts and prayers are with Josh and Heather and the entire family as there will be services tomorrow at Ballbirds Brewing. I believe from 1 to 4, 1 to 5. I'm not quite sure about the obituary. But if you can get out and support that family in any way, shape, or form, it's much appreciated. But truthfully, it's just been an incredible night. But you said 7 carries for 220 yards.
17 for 221 for Tate Seacrest, 3 TDs, 7 carries for Elijah Jordan, even 100, and electrifying and season-long 61-yard touchdown run. And it adds that 1 TD as well. But what's really exciting, you have all of that, which the Bulldogs can do, almost 500 yards of offense in the first 2 quarters. But then you work it down, your drive kind of stalls, and Brody Herr kicks a nice straight-on 30-yard field goal or so to add that component to the offense for the Bulldogs. Again, Brody's not going to kick a 40-yarder on a regular basis. But you know what? If you can kick do a kick under pressure, field goal, now hey, I've done this. Yes. I can do it under pressure later on in the year. What you talked about, Nate, earlier, how do you become a rounded football team?
Yes.
Offense, defense, special teams, and then all of those things that you can do to put points on the board that the Bulldogs have been able to do the past couple of years. They're continuing to do here as this second half unfolds.
Again, real quick shout-out tonight to Aliquippa. Thank you to all those WPIAL teams. That is the dominant league in the entire state of Pennsylvania, giving Max Engel the Week 3 player of the game. Allentown Central Catholic, several teams just really stepped up to show their gratitude. And tonight, we couldn't ask for a better host than the Mifflinburg Wildcats under the superintendent of schools, Dr. Ken Dady. So the Dogs are going to kick off. We saw the Wildcats defer in the first half to the second half. The scoreboard does read 44-0. So what would you like to see Mifflinburg be able to establish his second half? So.
Well, Brody Herr would have liked if he would have remembered to bring the tee out the first time, had to jog back and get that. But he's all teed up and ready to go. We're going to be in the mercy rule for this whole second half. Again, you want to see young players make big plays here in the second half.
Kick is back. Returnable. Out across the 30. Nope, not quite to the 30, to around the 27-yard line. Nice tackle on that play. Paul Hale once again. I'd like to see the stats on special teams tackles this year because when the end of the year rolls around, I guarantee he leads.
Paul Hale, Taylor Mount, and Preston Beatty all in on that tackle. But you're right, Paul Hale, one of those guys on special teams that really has a nose for the football, and he's going to stay in the ball game, be one of the safeties here for the Bulldog pass defense.
That's where we want to start mentioning names. the left defensive end. It is still Tate Sechrist. 62 comes in the left side of the line. Owen Vandruff still going with Caden Walker in the first team defense. Paul Hill is in at safety. Pass to Dressler in the flats. Tries to make a man miss. Wrapped up. There's a flag on the play. It's probably going to be a face mask, and I don't believe that's incidental.
Yep, face mask on the end of that play, so the Wildcats going to get 15. Really good to see Owen Vandruff get some defensive snaps. You know, he's such a stalwart on the offensive line, but he's a guy that he's a space eater, Nate, no question about it. And he's a guy that can really do some things on the defensive line. I was watching him there, good hands, got it up, got into the backfield a little bit. And that's a whole different look for a guy who plays almost all of the snaps on the offensive side, now getting it in the rush from the defensive side.
And there's Whitman staring Troop in the face at 6'7". Pass immediately to the flats, tipped. But again, a breakdown in route running there. Either that was underthrown to Grodzki, but not a high percentage pass on that.
What to keep in mind with that mercy rule, so the ball does not stop even on an incomplete pass. Again, the only time the clock will stop is when there's an injury or a score. Then they will stop to do the PAT and all of that. But the clock will run continuously here in quarters number 3 and 4.
34-yard line for Reepsum in the gun. Snap is back. He's going to look to the flats. Oh, it's picked off. He had it. The official didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said he was down. So Tate Sechrist gets the tip and the interception, his first of the year. I thought the same thing. I thought he was ruling it an incomplete pass. He was saying, no, the play's dead right here after the interception. Made that clear. Did referee Joe Klebon. Bulldog's going to take over deep in Wildcat territory at the Mifflinburg 34.
Well, that's impressive by that official because he was truly blind to that. Good job by the officiating crew. Under center, pro-eye formation. Snap is back. Immediate handoff to Bo Sechrist. Up the middle, nobody home. Down around the outside. He's going to walk in.
Bam, touchdown. Bo Sechrist, a running back position. He's good.
Oh,
he's
very
quick,
good.
doesn't get many carries as well he should, following Tate and Elijah Jordan and others. But Bo, as a sophomore, he gets through the line. He has a great burst of speed, takes that one all the way, 34 yards for the touchdown. Bulldogs hit the half-century mark here with the Brody Herr PAT oncoming.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, kick is low, but it's through? Yes, it's good. I'll tell you, that one squeaked through. I could hear it.
You know, it's interesting. I'm not sure if Brody Herr, he's not a straight-on kicker, but he's not really a soccer kicker either. You can't really tell. But, again, he has become fairly effective. Only missed that one in the first half. Field goal as well, adds that one. Again, they don't have to look pretty. They just have to go through the uprights, and Brody Herr gets that through to add to the lead now. 51-0, 9 minutes to go here, third quarter.
And we talk about Bo Sechrist, number 5. He's a sophomore. We talked about a couple areas of concern coming into the season was where would the linebacking core be after losing a Hayden Packard and some senior leadership? Where would the secondary be without a Cooper Peacock and a Connor Griffin and some of those key players? But, the secondary's grown. And the linebacking core has really stepped up. Bo Sechrist could probably start at running back for a lot of schools.
Oh, there's no question about it. You know how tough Tate Sechrist runs the football. Bo Sechrist, he plays with that abandon as well. Really tough to bring down. Nice to see him get a clean lane there, able to show some quickness and speed on that 34-yard touchdown run.
So Brody Herr will kick again tonight. Score reads 51-0. Here, 8:58 to go. Continuous clock, mercy rule, third quarter. It's a low liner. That's going towards the sideline. That's going to be out of bounds. Flag on the play. That ball will be brought out to the 35-yard line, and we'll see if they start to make some household substitutions here for the Bulldogs.
And we saw that last week against Shikellamy. Coach Gravish and his staff really started to trade some players in already in quarter number 2. And here we see Tate Sechrist and others going off. So you're going to get Preston Beatty, Owen Vandruff, Slate Sechrist going to stay in the ballgame. But now they're switching positions. Brody Herr is going off to that right side at that right defensive end. Thompson's moving to linebacker along with number 51. That's Zeke Sechrist, the freshman, 5'10", 165.
Yeah, and he played some nose last week, and he's just another up-and-coming ninth grader. They just keep the bloodline continues. In the gun, Reepsum Looks to the flats. Man open. Number 1 makes a great catch. Makes a man miss. Tackled by number 10, Thompson. Out of bounds, but not until Jackson Griffith picks up the first down for the Wildcats.
Well, you don't think Mifflinburg's going to change anything. They're just going to throw the football. I am a little surprised with their low numbers that maybe Dressler. I don't see number 2 back in the ballgame, Troop, after he had come off with an injury. He's definitely on the sideline, seems to be okay, but I'm a little surprised that Dressler's still in the ballgame, being their main offensive weapon.
They're going to go up top in the gun. Reaps him. Going to blitz. 51, Zeke Sechrist coming into the flats. It's nearly picked off by Thompson. In and out of the hands. If he catches that ball, it's another house call.
Yeah, what's really great to see is that those linebackers are doing what they practice all week long, dropping into those zones, making the reading the eyes of the quarterback, and Thompson was right where he's supposed to be. I'm not sure if I've seen him play linebacker thus far this year. He's been mostly at the defensive end position.
You're exactly right, but last year it was predominantly linebacker, so they've moved him around. That just goes to show his versatility and athleticism. 2nd and 10 on the 48. In the gun is Reapson. Motions right to left. Griffith going to look up top. Dressler wide open. If that ball's thrown well, it's a touchdown. He had to come back for it.
Yep, just a little bit of a misread there by Evan Snyder. Had the interception in the first half. He kind of came up, and Dressler kept going, and the quarterback definitely underthrew that, or Dressler would have been able to take that one in stride. So the Bulldogs survive on that play. 7:05 running clock here, third quarter.
Dyson Delaney in. I always say, he was a starter at one point in time, and then they focused him primarily offensively at left tackle, blindside tackle, but here he is tonight coming in, getting some reps on defense. Another great football player as a senior leadership. 3rd down and 10 on the 48-yard line. Reapson gets it up. It's deep. Picked off. Nice coverage. Got the depth he needed. That's Carson Watkins. And you want to talk about a mismatch on paper. Carson Watkins, they have him listed at 6 foot, 165, but he went up and high pointed that football. Dressler 6'4". That's just a great defensive play.
I saw Carson come into the ball game on that previous play, and boy, right on cue, he goes up, makes his first career interception, the 4th INT of the ball game by the Bulldog pass defense.
Way to go, Carson. Under center. That's Hale. Hands off immediately. Into the game as well, number 73, Dubs Bloom. And like I said, when he comes into the game, there's a shadow on the center of that field at 6'6", 335 pounds. So 2nd and 8, 27-yard line. Paul Hale under center. Going to hit quick pitch. Good pitch. Elijah Jordan gets around the outside edge, makes a cutback. Good defense by the cornerback there for the Wildcats. Forced Elijah back inside. So Griffith forces him inside.
So you have a whole new offensive front and receiver core. Elijah Jordan and Bo Sechrist settling in the backfield. Now Taylor Mount replaces Jordan on the play.
See if they go with a straight handoff to Bo. Yep, it's the counter. Bo is so strong. Makes a man miss. It's going to bring up 4th down and short. You're going to see the punting team come on for the Bulldogs.
Good tackle there by Clement. He's made some nice plays for this Wildcat defense. Clement, only a sophomore, 5'8", 170. So that's a good matchup, both sides of the football there.
Brody Herr will be punting on 4th down and 2 from his own 33. Back to receive. It's a very short kick. Good roll. Number 1 stalks it, but walks away, Jackson Griffith. That's one of those punts you're like, there's no way this isn't going to end well. And as short and kind of ugly as it was, it rolled out beautifully for the Dogs.
Kind of has that backwards spin to it, and you're kind of thinking, well, that one's going to hit and bounce back toward the Bulldog line, but it goes exactly the opposite, kicks the other way, gets a good roll there, down to the 24-yard line of the Wildcats. Momentary pause there on the clock. Now referee Klebon gets it back underway.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the number of guys now. You've got Carson Watkins in at left corner. You've got number 24, Malk in at safety. Paul Hale in at safety as well. In the gun, once again, Cole Reapson still in the game for the Wildcats. Twins right. 1st and 10. Hands off immediately. Up the middle, Preston Beatty forces the running back, down inside and makes a great tackle. He came all the way from the defensive end position down inside and really stalked the football carrier. Great tackle by Preston Beatty.
Well, you know, this quote-unquote second unit of the Bulldog defense, they want to play well. They want to get some snaps. They want to hold the opponent, force them into punting formation, and then, you know, get their unit of offense on the field, see if they can add score here in the ball game.
And this second unit is what goes against the first unit a lot of times of the Bulldogs. They get a lot of good reps at practice. 2nd and 10 on the 24. Snap is back. They're going to go vertical. No time. Oh, nearly. I really thought Watkins was breaking back and going to have his second pick of the night. Slightly underthrown to Griffith. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 3rd, and they're once again backs against the wall. 3rd and 11 against the chains. Long down and distance has not helped the Wildcats.
Almost a tremendous catch there by Griffin. Kind of had it, then kind of bobbled it and almost came up with it before able to be bounced out by the turf there. So bringing up 3rd and long for this Mifflinburg team. And, you know, Coach Hale mentioned a good thing. Reepson probably isn't going to come out of the game because he's probably their JV quarterback as well.
Yeah, he is. Obviously, they're 3rd in the depth chart. He's done very, very well last couple games. But watch the screen here. Going deep. It's picked off. Down the sideline goes Snyder. He could go to the house. They're going to call a flag on this one. Probably an illegal block in the back of sorts or something after the back end of that play. But that ball was significantly underthrown that time to Dressler. Snyder came and said, hey, thank you, I'll play center field. Makes the interception. Down the sideline he went. Nearly a house call. They're going to call a hold. Block in the back against the Dogs. So that's going to walk back. They're going to march that back.
Foul being assessed against the Bulldogs.
So to bring up 1st and 10 for the Dogs. Interception still stands. Bo Sechrist, Elijah Jordan in the backfield. Paul Hale under center. Officials getting the play clock set. Hale under center. Hands off to Elijah Jordan, all alone down the sideline. Makes a man miss. Hips on a swivel. Down inside the 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Broke the pylon. So once again, it's just a play where you pick your poison. Do we tackle Bo Sechrist? Elijah Jordan had a rather large hole to run through, and he did the rest with one shake and one shimmy, and down the sideline he was to pay dirt.
So Elijah Jordan adds his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. 3rd game of the season, I believe, where both Elijah Jordan and Tate Sechrist have gone over 100 yards each in the same contest.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it's another line drive. That one was living on a prayer.
I don't think that one ever got end over end. That one kind of was doing the spiral sideways. So Brody Harris kicked him well and kicked his first field goal of the ball game, but that one kind of got sideways in a hurry, so no good on the PAT attempt, but it really doesn't damper the enthusiasm on that Jersey Shore sidelines. The Bulldogs stretched that lead here with 2:39 to go in the 3rd quarter, 57-0 over the Wildcats.
Well, what's crazy, Doug, is the clock only stops with scores, and as long as the Dogs continue to score, the clock continues to stop. And you know, these games for opponents become long, and they're grudge matches. And you know, the Bulldogs, I just want to pause and say how absolutely abnormal this is. I mean, to consistently week in and week out dominate opponents like this is not the norm, is not the standard. So appreciate it, the sustainability of this program. And last week against Shikellamy, and I wasn't going to comment until another week passed, but that was Tom Gravish's 100th win as a Jersey Shore head football coach.
Not a bad run here for Coach Gravish, his staff, and the team.
Brody Herr kicks it deep. He likes this left sideline. Number 1 makes the return. It's Griffith. Samar makes contact out of bounds, and it's good they held up. Otherwise, flags would have been flying laundry on the field. So no penalties. 2:30 to go here, Doug. third quarter.
What's really abnormal when you talk about it, I mean that in a very, very good way. So last week against the Braves, the Bulldog defense, 4 first-quarter interceptions, 5 for the ball game. Tonight, 3 first-quarter interceptions. They add 2 here in the second half with a lot of time to go, 2:31 here in the third quarter. 2 games in a row with 5 interceptions each, almost unheard of at the high school level.
Luke Ryan into the game to replace Paul Hale in the secondary at safety. Line makes a shift, gets in position in the gun. Now here comes the flag. So Reebsom's been in the gun tonight. Done some decent things through the air, had some receivers open, but again, a lot of it is timing. A lot of it is, hey, I don't have time, so I'm just going to pick a spot and hopefully connect with one of my receivers. And I don't know what the completion percentage is tonight, but it hasn't been great.
And we have Zach Myers, Matt Fravel, number 72, 88, along with number 79, Aiden Palmenter, all on the defensive line for the Bulldogs.
1st and 15, Reebsom in the gun. Hands off immediately. Good lane. Number 26, tackled initially by Carson Watkins. So that's carry by number 26. Nice carry on the play to Radwill Susan.
Best rushing attempt by the Mifflinburg team thus far in the ball game here in quarter number 3. Running clock again, 1:40, 57-0, Jersey Shore on top.
And number 12, Camden Newcomer into the game as well, a freshman out on the corner spot right side. Matches up against number 3 right now, Grodzki. In the gun, Reebsom, 2nd and 2. Hand off immediately. Good initial surge. That'll move the chain. So first down for the Wildcats here with 1:10 to go in this third quarter.
Trent Severino, along with Zach Myers, in on the tackle there for the Bulldogs. And a real key here is everybody healthy. Second team players getting some great snaps, live game action here as the third quarter winds down.
1st down and 10 on the 38-yard line. Reebsom in the shotgun, 2 backs to his right, singles left and right. He's going to go up top. Going to go deep to number 3, Grodzki, wide open. Makes a nice adjustment on the football to slide down in between Malk and Newcomer. So nice pitch and catch there for the Wildcats.
And that's where, Talon, who's made some nice plays on the offensive and defensive side, that's where you've got to kind of realize where that football is going, position yourself to be able to make a play on the football. He did not dare. The receiver did. Big play for the Wildcats.
This formation working right now for the Wildcats. 1st and 10, 37. Reebsom in the gun. Hands off to the second back. Off the left side. Makes a cutback. Cuts back outside. Tackled from behind. Nice pickup, though.
I think that was Dyson Delaney tracking him down there. May have had the wrong number there. Trent Severino. Thank you, Coach. Yep, coming down from the backside after about an 8-yard gain. So the Wildcats putting some good yardage together, but that'll be the last play of quarter number 3. The Bulldogs of Jersey Shore 57, the Mifflinburg Wildcats 0. You are listening to Jersey Shore Bulldog High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
40 years serving the Jersey Shore area community. All Round Tire, your hometown service and tire sales center. Family owned and operated, All Round Tire features Cooper, many other tire brands, including Michelin and Firestone. Make us your first choice not only for passenger, light truck, farm, and ag tires, but also for service, brakes, exhaust belts, and hoses. And we offer the only vulcanized flat repairs in the area. PA State Inspection 2, open weekdays 8 till 5, Saturday till noon. All Round Tire, Cement Hollow Road, Jersey Shore.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly back here in Mifflinburg for the final quarter of tonight's game. Fifth week, I should say, here against the Wildcats. And Severino, one thing to say about that last play, made a nice backside tackle, forced a fumble out of bounds. So, all these guys just, it's been next man up. The cupboards are never bare, and these guys love the game, and they want to get in on the action. So 12 minutes to go here in this game. 57-0 in the gun. Hands off immediately to number 22. I don't know if he got it. I don't believe he did.
It's a really good gang tackle there, led by Zach Myers, number 51 as well. Zeke Seekers coming in to hold them short. No gain on that play. Going to bring up 3rd and short. Some quick updates. Selinsgrove now 54-14 over Shikellamy. Warrior run 33-0 in their ball game against Northwest.
Reaps him in the gun. Handoff immediately. 22 gets the carry. He makes one man miss, picks up the first down. The chains are going to move. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 16-yard line. I'm sorry, the 26-yard line.
And again, our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you all season long by Tie Dot and Embroidery. Shout out to Duke Fravel for all he did for the years for Jersey Shore football and the Tie Dot and Embroidery family. Go see those folks on Charles Street in Jersey Shore.
So great run on that play by Caden Kmet. 21 in the gun, goes deep. And that could be picked off. It is picked off. Watkins is having a night. You know what I love about that? Here's the other the thing that I love about that play was he was again in great field position. He got the depth that he needed, adjusted to the football, kept his eyes on the quarterback, and was right where he needed to be. So I don't know what that total is, Doug. I can't. I'm running out of fingers and toes. How many picks is that for tonight?
That's number 6. Unbelievable. So we have 11 interceptions in the past ball game. Unbelievable by the Bulldog defense.
Hale in the gun, hands off immediately, up the middle, one cut back vertical. Not going down easy, and I would be willing to bet that that's Bo Sechrist, but we'll see. No, that's Malk. Hats off to you, young man. Running fearless, grinding to greatness. What a nice run. Hale in the gun now. They take him out from under center. Twins right, twins left. Let's see if they let Hale do something with his feet. Awful speedy. A very difficult matchup for anybody. And they're doing the wise thing here. Running the play clock down, not getting overzealous, doing the right thing. Snap is back. Hands off immediately. Malk again. So it's going to be 3rd down. Maybe lost a half yard on that, not sure. It's going to bring up 3rd down, Doug. Third and a long one.
Braden Swales in on the right guard position, getting some snaps in this ball game. Also only a sophomore, nice size, 6'3", 255, trying to lead the way.
Hale under center, pro formation. Gets the handoff immediately. Boy, a good stick right away. It's going to be close. They're signaling move the chains. Got it by the nose of the football.
And that one, he followed Braden Swales there, and also Zach Myers on the right side of the Bulldog line. 1st down, Jersey Shore.
You should be proud, Troy. Raising him up right. Graduated with his father. Played basketball in middle school together. His son's going to have a bright future. In the gun is Hale. Short slot trip formation to the right. They're going to let the clock continue to run down, which is tough because you're used to, if you're Jersey Shore, you're used to being in a rhythm, and it's almost like hurry up and wait. Snap is back. Hands off. Boy, they're hitting up front.
Again, running clock. We are approaching 8 minutes in the ball game. The Bulldogs have really stretched this out 57-0 over the Mifflinburg Wildcats. But the impressive stat tonight, 6 INTs by the Bulldog defense, including career first, 2 by Carson Watkins here in the second half.
Yeah, and we talk about the secondary. If Mifflinburg was going to have success tonight, even with depleted numbers on the roster, it was going to be through the air, and that was null and void by the secondary of the Bulldogs. Even early on, getting the hands up. The Tate Sechrist also has a pick tonight, so lots of action defensively. Paul Hale hands off immediately up the gut again to Bo Sechrist. Yeah, nobody's blocking, and Paul Hale right now basically is just, the offensive version of a tackling dummy on defense. He's going to hand the ball off, and if they can get a play to break out, that's great. If not, they're going to be conservative. So it's 3rd and 10 on the 31-yard line. Fourth quarter here. Jersey Shore up 57-0, 7:15 to go. Hale's going to keep it. Would have been nice to see him get outside a little bit on that one, but he didn't have a lot of room to run. But design quarterback keep. It's going to bring up 4th down. The Bulldogs will be punting. Brody Herr comes on. Deep to receive for the Mifflinburg Wildcats, number 1, Jackson Griffith, the 6-foot sophomore. If you're just tuning in right now, 6.5 to go, fourth quarter. Dogs up 57-0. Each team has 3 timeouts. Brody Herr, 4th and 7, punting for the Bulldogs. It's another short kick. This one's got the reverse spin as well. He still gets the roll. It's the friendly roll.
So, Nate, this one's winding down here. The Wildcats will take over 6:15. The Bulldogs have stretched it out. Really impressive in the first half, but adding on in the second half. Bo Sechrist touchdown run. Elijah Jordan tacks one on as well. We just mentioned the Carson Watkins 2 INTs in this 3rd and 4th stanza as well. Been a really complete game for the Bulldog offense and the defense tonight.
In the gun. Quarterback reaps him, hands off to the second back. Nice cutback, 26 on the carry. Radwill Susan on the carry, getting some nice yards on 1st down.
Good stick there by Luke Ryan coming up from the defensive back position to halt any further gain on the ground by Susan. Luke's made a couple nice plays tonight as well from that free safety position.
Aiden Evans in for the Bulldogs on defense, along with Swales. So all the guys getting some reps tonight. So thanks again for tuning in to the broadcast this evening. 2nd and 4 in the gun. Reaps him, hands off. Again to number 26 that time, just met by a whole host of the Bulldog Nation.
Led by Aiden Palmatier on that carry, holding that to no gain at all. And again, we want to give a shout out. Love our sponsors, Steve and Alicia Wadsworth, River Valley Internet, for letting us get on the air at all throughout the season. Joe's Equipment, Tie Dot and Embroidery. And coming up really soon, our new sponsor, player of the game, Mountaintop and Provisions and Donnie Breon Jr. Go see them out in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley. We're going to add them on with some actual commercials over the next couple weeks, but really appreciate them coming on. We'll name that player of the game here in just a few minutes.
In the gun. Fakes a handoff, wide open over the middle. Dressler could take it to the house. Down inside the 25 to the 24. Yeah, you could see that coming. They snuck Dressler in at an inside receiver for a little dink and dunk, seeing if they could pull one off tonight. And you can't blame them.
Oh, Wildcats doing their best to avoid the shutout, trying to score here late. Doesn't matter who they're against. They want to break the 0 on the scoreboard. Running clock going to be under 4 minutes here with just a couple ticks. The Wildcats doing their best to get on the board here tonight.
And the Dogs have stayed humble. They've been healthy, and they've been hungry all year. And again tonight here at Mifflinburg, just awesome. In the gun, reaps him. Hands off to number 22. Up the middle is Kmet. And he's Kmet by a host of Bulldogs. So that's going to be a 2nd down and 8.
You know, that's what you want to see if you're Coach Jason Dressler. You want to see some continued effort and fight in your team. Even though you're down big on the scoreboard, you still want to do the best that you can on every play. And that's what their Reepsum and Dressler and the running backs of the Wildcats are trying to do here on this drive.
Ball is on the 20. Reepsum in the gun. At tight end, Dressler. They're going to look to hand the ball off. He tries to get the corner edge. Dressler did his best to secure the right side of that line to no avail. Down to 3 minutes here to go. 57-0 is the score. It's going to be 3rd down, loss of 2 or 3 on that play. So 3rd down and roughly 10 yards.
Super tackle for a loss there by Luke Thompson. Again, Luke's only a sophomore, 6 foot 180. Really solid player. You know, gets the snaps with the first team as well, and he's becoming an improving player on both sides of the football for the Bulldogs.
Mifflinburg trying their best to get some points on the board tonight. 3rd down and 10 on the 23-yard line. Reeps him in the gun. It's a quick pitch left. They're just coming. The difficult stiff arm down inside the 10, out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Good patience on the ground game by number 22, Caden Met.
Touchdown saving tackle again there by Luke Thompson, but a good cut and run upfield by the Wildcats. Pick up a first down, put them in there. I believe their 1st and goal of the night from the Mifflinburg 9.
So 1st and goal, Mifflinburg. They're going to try and knock on the door of the Dogs and punch one in here. It's Saturday night. Nice crowd here to support the Wildcats. Reaps some hands off up the middle, wide hole, big hole. Down inside, close to the 5-yard line. So a good pickup on 1st down.
Clock running at 1:30. Again, the Wildcats doing everything they can to get a score here. 2nd and goal from the 5 of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so the Dogs have really come out tonight on the road, been tested. The schedule's been different the last week and a half. And Reeves him in the gun. Quick pitch to the right. Cut back. Just met by 73. Dubs blooming on that one, Doug. You had to see it to believe it.
Dubs, he is a big young man. It's great to see him in there battling inside. I say it at some point in the season, Dubs Bloom and these second teamers are going to be an integral part of what the Bulldogs tried to do on the defensive side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just love the fact that the Bulldogs are able to get everybody in the game tonight again and get the experience for the years to come. In the gun is Reepson. Hands off immediately. They're looking for the goal line. Bounces to the outside. Makes a man miss. Down to the 1. Down to the 1. He wanted it, Doug. He wanted it.
They're going to go quick pace here on 4th down to try and break the shutout.
Reeves him in the gun, trying to score a point. Mifflinburg met. He gets in. He gets in. Hats off to the Wildcats. You know, and that's what you want to see. You know, Alex and this 5-2 defense, every coach loves to pitch a shutout. But when there's been just a mutual respect tonight from the start of the game till now, the Dogs just absolutely do their best tonight on the road. It was Saturday night, not Friday night. 57-6, the Bulldogs over the Wildcats here in Mifflinburg. Doug and I will be back after this. We're going to send you back to the station. We'll come back with stats, the wrap-up, and the player of the game, brought to you in part by our new sponsor, Mountaintop and Provisions. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Everything you need in one place. Jiffy Market in Jersey Shore. Now your first choice for great hot food, breakfast sandwiches, bagels, French toast sticks, boneless wings, hash browns, garbage fries, and taco wraps. PA lottery tickets and skill games and ATM fresh-made sandwiches, meat and cheese by the pound, snacks, candy, slushies, and more. All at Jiffy Market. Everything you need in one place. Across from the post office in downtown Jersey Shore. Stop and shop. Jiffy Market in Delhi.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your local Erie agent is Brigandy, Gleghorn, and Hafley. Get a quote today.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Get ready to hit the road with these great trips through Susquehanna Trailways. November 14th, it's the Bird in Hand stage for our Christmas dinner. November 25th, visit New York City or Atlantic City. November 29th, Americana Music Theater for the first Noel, and December 1st, the PA Christmas Show. Holidays are coming. Susquehanna Trailways gift cards are available. Make sure you're on the mailing list. Update your mailing address. 2024 tour books will be mailed in late December. Check the Susquehanna Trailways Facebook page and website for more information.
What makes Taco Bell's rolled chicken tacos so good? Is it the shredded marinated all white meat chicken? Well, yeah, obviously. But it's also the 3 amazing dipping sauces to choose from: spicy ranch, warm nacho cheese sauce, and house-made daily guacamole. Now, if you need a third reason, their white corn tortillas are fried to golden perfection, which everyone knows is the best kind of perfection. Order rolled chicken tacos on the Taco Bell app. Get 1 dip for 2-pack or 2 dips for 4-pack at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last.
B.A. Meixel is a local residential, commercial, and industrial electrical contractor. With over 10 years servicing north central Pennsylvania, B.A. Meixel has built relationships with home and business owners in Jersey Shore and beyond. Trust B.A. Meixel's trained electricians for all of your electrical needs. Take advantage of their industry-leading warranties. Call 570-398-7837 today to find out more. B.A. Meixel Electric, a proud supporter of Jersey Shore sports.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
We are back in the saddle post-game wrap-up, and we're going to keep this brief. But, man, you know, a lot of times we don't understand why things work the way they do, but things all come out in the end. You know, several young players had big games tonight. Snyder, couple picks. Whitman, pick 6. Just tremendous night on the ground. Absolutely awesome balance. Loomis looked really, really good at times, spreading the wealth through the air. But, Doug, let's talk about what impressed you the most tonight and why they are the mountaintop and provisions players of the game.
So before we get into the player game, really have to give a shout-out not only to what Nate just said, but also Carson Watkins, his 2 first career INTs in the second half, and just that whole
my bad, Carson
Bulldog defense adding 6 INTs tonight after 5 INTs against Shikellamy. So 11 interceptions in 2 games for the Bulldog pass defense. Just outstanding. And again, we want to give we try to who else can get into the mix for the player of the game. And again, just a super shout out to Donnie Breon Jr., Mountaintop and Provisions. Go see them and their wonderful facility up there. Great music, great food in the beautiful Pine Creek Valley. They are going to be our player of the game sponsors, not only for the rest of the regular season, but throughout the playoffs as well. So we talked about it a little bit. We want to also give a shout out to Whitman with that pick and INT for pick 6 for the touchdown. And then Evan Snyder really played a nice defensive game as well. Started the way with that first INT of the ball game. Elijah Jordan ended up with 7 carries, 128, and 2 TDs. We mentioned Tate Sechrist did not carry the ball in the second half, but ended up with 7 carries, 221, 3 TDs in the first half alone. So that leads us all, Nate, to our player of the game.
Drum roll, please.
The Jersey Shore rushing ball game led by this crew up front. During that first and second quarter, Owen Vandruff at tackle, Slate Sechrist on the other side, Dyson Delaney and John Dammer the guards, Mason Larson at the center. But you really have to mention everybody else as well. Tight end, Luke Thompson, obviously Loomis at the quarterback, Tate Sechrist, Elijah Jordan, Dathan Tyson, Peyton Samar, all of them at the wide receiver positions, blocking downfield. Just a tremendous game. We'll see the total once we get it all together, but well over 400 yards rushing again for the Bulldog offense. So our player of the game is the Jersey Shore rushing game led by that group up front, the Bulldog offensive line.
And real quick, want to give a shout-out to Matthew Watkins, who really had some tremendous years of success in the Anniswort League coaching the junior program, which has become a valiant pipeline. He is actually one of these days when he has some time going to come on at halftime and just share a little bit of insight as to some of his experiences maybe and why the pipeline works to help sustain this program as they come into the Tom Gravish years. Then they've already got a pedigree established. So hats off to the line tonight. Incredible job, you guys. You were a unit. You've really grown together, and it's obvious when the offense has that much success on the ground and through the air. I'm going to sign off. Doug's going to end this for us before we go back to network. It is always a pleasure. With a generous heart and spirit, we thank you for your support. Each and every broadcast is only possible for those who support financially through marketing, and those who tune in to watch and listen. You guys have a good night. From our house to yours, stay blessed.
And the Bulldogs, final score one more time, 57-6 over the Mifflinburg Wildcats. Jersey Shore improves to 4-0-1 on the season. Continue the road trip. It will be their second game of 4 consecutive road games next Friday night as well. As always, the Bulldogs, 57-6. It is a great day to be a Bulldog.
Thanks for listening to tonight's game, brought to you by Hollick's Coal and Oil, Alexander Kia, now in Montoursville, McMahon, Ferguson and Associates, Susquehanna Trailways, B.A. Mikesell Electric, the Dave Winkleman team at Anchor Realty, Jiffy Market and Deli, Briganti, Gleghorn and Hafley Insurance, TLC Fuels, Napa in Jersey Shore and Mill Hall, Jason Eberhardt State Farm Insurance, All Round Tire, Agway, the Twilight Diner and Miller's Barn, Reese's Printing, Bald Birds Brewing Company, Muncie Bank and Trust Company, Fager Insurance, Joe's Equipment, Tie Dot Embroidery, Rearick Carpenter Funeral Home, and River Valley Internet. It's another tough contest Friday night when the Bulldogs travel to Allentown to face Executive Action Charter School. Pregame 6:30, kickoff at 7. See and hear that game with Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly, and Vince Lee exclusively on the Bear Country Sports Network.